It is a huge day on speed. The elders of stock car racing have always said some of the best Daytona Speed Week racing happens on Thursday. You're about to see why they think so. The Gatorade Duels at Daytona, a hair-raising pair of 150-mile qualifying races to set the 500 field. Let's go trackside for the invocation.
Oh God, may we always remember the need for faith in you, the place of hope in life, the fragility of life, the significance of others, the meaning of the moment, the need to love our brothers and sisters wherever they are in the world. Bless this event and all who participate in it. Thank you, the source of all that is good. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome IPI recording artist Sherry as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is a slice of Americana, a Major League Sports success story, and a blast to watch on speed. Welcome to NASCAR. "35 Nextel Cup household names are locked in for Sunday's Daytona 500. You'll hear a lot about them on Fox, but 22 drivers, including a past Cup champ, 3 past Daytona 500 winners, and 7 Cup race winners, are battling today for just 4 starting spots. Desperate odds. Who will and who will not race the 49th Daytona 500? That's today's question. For possible answers, we begin with Matt Yoakum.
Dave, 2002 Daytona 500 winner Ward Burton's left his signature in cement outside the track at Daytona's Walk of Fame. And Bill Elliott's racing resume here at Daytona, legendary. But both these former 500 champions are on the outside looking in today. This race dictates not only how their speed weeks could end, but how their season could start. They've been in pressure-packed situations before. They've climbed mountains this high, but now they know it all comes down to today. They've got to go out and do it. They know what it means to win the 500 and how it changes your life, but Steve Burns, every time you have a shot, it's a whole new beginning. They're hoping for that chance today.
Well, Matt, Jeremy Mayfield's dream of winning the Daytona 500 started many years ago as a boy on a paper route, pedaling his bicycle, pretending to be his hero, Darrell Waltrip, back in Owensboro, Kentucky. Along the way, Jeremy's been to victory lane 5 times, but his dream was derailed a year ago when Ray Evernham released him 2/3 of the way through the season. Jeremy thinks he has a point to prove, and he wants vindication. But to get into the Daytona 500, he must race his way in today. To Krista.
Well, climbing shoes would be a perfect gift for A.J. Allmendinger. He has perhaps the steepest learning curve of any driver. Not only is he with a new team, a new manufacturer, he's driving a whole new type of vehicle, a former open-wheel racer. A.J. says he has only about 10 days experience in a Nextel Cup car. Now, he did make some truck starts last year and had a top 5 at Talladega, but did that give him a false sense of confidence? He crashed twice in 2 days at testing in Vegas last month. His team says his biggest obstacle is patience. He agrees. Not only does he want to go fast, he wants to go fast right now. But to make the Daytona 500, he needs to not only go fast, he needs to survive for 60 laps today. To Dick Berggren.
43-year-old Kenny Wallace is best known as the fun-loving, zany character that you see on Speed TV. But if you ask this guy, he'll tell you his most important job in automobile racing is behind the wheel of a race car. And he desperately wants to make the Daytona 500. 2 of the last 3 years, he has failed to qualify for the race because he didn't finish well enough in his 150-mile qualifying event. Today, he starts in the 23rd position. Moments ago, he told me he runs his life out of a fear of failure. He desperately does not want to hear NASCAR say, load it up and take it home. This is the most important race of his year. And my friend, we wish you luck. Dave Despain.
As we begin our 7th season of NASCAR broadcasting on the Fox family of networks, a quick reminder, they named the Hollywood Hotel for Jeff Hammond.
Welcome aboard, buddy.
Give me a preview of today.
I think right now we've been talking an awful lot about the guys who have to race their way in. The key thing is right now, the guys that are in, they've got to keep their nose clean, use this as a learning session, and not to make sure that they don't get themselves in trouble.
Anything that we've learned about tracking, we see a lot of cars sliding around, scary driving.
Hey, baby, I got news for you right now. We've been talking about sparring, doing all this practice session. Now it's time for the real fight, so we're going to see what everybody's really made out of.
And in that vein, the drivers are in their cars. The crews have done what they can to get them ready for the action today. And as we kick off the build up to the 49th Daytona 500, it's time to go trackside for the command to light them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back your Grand Marshal, Dr. Robert Salas, as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
And with that, it's time to meet our crew who will call the action for the duels at Daytona. High above Daytona International Speedway, Mike Joy, Darrell Waltrip, and Larry McReynolds.
Thanks, Dave. That sound of partial silence you heard were drivers waiting to start their engines to conserve fuel. That'll be one of the stories here today. But the big story of Thursday, it's the biggest field for the Daytona 500 since 1995. 26 of the cars in these 2 races are fighting for just 8 qualifying positions. That means 18 drivers go home, and you can cut the tension down on that starting grid with a knife.
Oh, yeah, I see guys down there going, you know, everybody's sitting on a hot stove right now. You know, they call these qualifying races. I'm not really sure why. True, some of the cars are qualified already on their owner points, but I call these elimination races. What you don't want to do is eliminate yourself. Do it through the process. There's opportunities to get into the 500 through these qualifying races. You better be ready to take advantage of them if one of them happens to come into your lap.
But Larry, the race is not just about those 26 cars over the 2 races. There's the 35 teams that want a good starting spot and a good pit selection for the 500.
Yeah, and certainly pit selection can be real important. But yeah, there's pressure on these drivers, Mike. There's pressures on their spotters to give them the right information. But remember, this is a 60-lap race. These cars cannot go the distance without stopping. So whether that pit stop comes under green, under caution conditions, these guys may only get 1 shot to get it right. So there's a lot of pressure on that crew chief to make the right call, and a lot of pressure on those pit crews that a lot of them have never worked together before to be mistake-free on that pit stop, because that indeed could be the difference in making this Daytona 500, or as Dick Berggren said, load it up and go home.
The way you make the race is somewhat convoluted. It's evolved over time. The front row was set last Sunday. And those two drivers, Gilliland and Rudd, were among those locked into the 500 field because they were among the top 35 in 2006 car owner points. 8 positions remain to be decided today. So of the drivers not yet qualified, the top 2 finishers in each dual race will make the 500. Then, of the drivers still not yet qualified, the fastest 3 in qualifying speed from Sunday will make the 500. And finally, if needed, the most recent NASCAR Nextel Cup champion not yet in the race. So here's the lineup for Duel 1 Fords on the front row. Boris said Johnny Sauter, and then they line up by point standing order. There's Jimmy Johnson, the champion. Casey Mears, Hamlin, the Rookie of the Year.
2 rookies, Mike, by the way. Those are both rookies on the front row starting this race.
And a lot of talent deep in the field of this first 150. 72-year-old James Hilton back in 30th, and Michael Waltrip, whose qualifying time was disallowed by NASCAR, anchor the field for 150-mile dual race number 1 of 2. Glad to have you with us today on Speed as we set the field for the Daytona 500.
Speed's coverage of the duels at Daytona, presented by Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil with adaptive molecules. Brought to you in part by Subway, Tony Stewart's favorite pit stop. Subway restaurants. Subway, race hard, eat fresh. And by Toyota, moving forward. Here at Daytona, we talk about the contrast between those guaranteed in the field and those not. Let's talk about the difference between the rookies in the front row and some of that experience and that inside line behind them, Jeff.
Yeah, when you take a look there, you got David Gilliland and David Reagan on the front row. Neither one of these guys have ever raced in the Daytona 500. Back on row 3, you got Jimmy Johnson followed by Denny Hamlin, Tony Stewart, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I look for these guys to try to get hooked up, make a move to the inside, and see you later, guys.
Let's go down to Krista Voda as we get closer to the start for more from trackside. Krista?
Well, it's funny you guys mentioned experience. We talked a little bit about former Daytona 500 winners not in this field, including Dale Jarrett and Michael Waltrip, now teammates. They are responsible for 5 Daytona 500 wins. Both are in my section of pit road, and amongst the scrutiny that's been going on with Michael Waltrip Racing, they are looking for a silver lining now more than ever. They're looking for fire. They're looking for energy. They want to put Toyota on the map instead of under the microscope. Steve.
Jimmy Johnson is the defending Daytona 500 champion and defending Nextel Cup champion. I asked his crew chief, Chad Canals, what the game plan was for this race. He said it'd be nice to win. We'd never won one of these races, but we also want to race this car in the Daytona 500. Matt.
For Daytona 500 pole sitter David Gilliland, today centers on 2 things, his mirror and communication. He picked up Earl Barbin, who was Jimmy Johnson's spotter 1 year ago when they went to Victory Lane. The other thing, being out front, he says one of the most difficult tasks to master in plate racing is keeping an eye on your mirror and learning when the others behind you are going to take a run at you. That's his biggest thing he wants to try to accomplish today. Learn, learn, learn. To Dick Bergeron.
Oh, the emotions on pit road are very high today, as they were in the garage. For some, those who have to race their way into the Daytona 500, it is desperation. For the rest, who desperately want to bring their car home in one piece, it is maybe terror. They are very worried that this thing is going to turn into a crash fest or a slugfest, Mike Joy.
This is how you get to the 500, but first you must get there. On a bit of a chilly day here in Daytona.
But you know what, Daryl and I were talking, it's almost like it's perfect conditions. It's not hot, it's not real cold, but this is what the drivers are going to like right here, because yesterday the winds were up to 26 miles per hour gusts, really playing havoc. Remember, these cars are running around here in almost 190 miles per hour, sometimes 3 wide.
Sometimes
4 wide.
Pretty near all the time. Well, they've just been given 1 to go, and the heart rate just picked up. How about yours?
Yes.
I hear music, man. You hear those engines starting the season?
That's music.
That's music. a symphony is starting to break out.
Aside from the lead in this race, the most important positions to keep an eye on will be the 2 transfer spots. We'll denote those in green on our ticker and explain the ticker as we get into the race to help you keep up with who is in a qualified position for the 500 and who is not.
You know, we talked about the 31 drivers, we talked about the 31 crew chiefs, the 31 pit crews, but honestly, the most important guys in this race right here could be those guys right there, the 31 spotters above, just above us here on the grandstands, the other set of eyes for that driver, and they could play an important role to let these drivers know where they're at as far as who they're racing to get in this race.
Yeah, because the opening laps are the most aggressive, the most exciting, because first of all, if they're going to be a breakaway, if a group of cars is going to get away from everybody else, you want to be in that breakaway group. So you're going to make a lot of bold moves early on here to try to get yourself in a good drafting position.
David Gilliland has already earned the pole for the 500. The other drivers in the top 35 in points are racing here for starting position Sunday. Everyone else to try to make the Great American Race. High in the sky, the Goodyear blimp floats over sporting events nationwide and has done so for so long. Goodyear's triple tread technology features 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather.
Some of these guys are racing because they love to race. Others are racing for the love of racing, and that's to be in it Sunday.
2 cars to transfer over 150-mile distance, plus the speed cars to fill in the back. That means Boris Said and Johnny Sauter know they'll be in the race Sunday if they have to fall back on speed. And Dale Jarrett, if he needs the champion's provisional to make the 500, it's his. For everyone else, this truly is a duel, and only 2 will be left standing and transfer directly into the 500 from this.
DW, this officially starts at 2007, so you better reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Here we come, the green flag.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing in 2007, boys.
Tony Stewart in that 20 car there, take a look to the inside. That yellow lines, you treat it like a wall. If you go below that and advance your position, it's out of bounds. They will bring you to pit road.
Well, Larry, just think, you got 48 in there. Jimmy Johnson, last year's Daytona winner. You got the 11 car in there, last year's Bud Shootout winner. 20 car right there, this last week's Bud Shootout winner. And of course, we know what Dale Jr. can do, and they're lined up pretty tidy right now.
Boris Said trying to carve his way up through the middle, got a little loose through the tri-oval, and cars scattered around his number 64.
You know, you can practice all you want to, but it's not the same as when you get out here in these kind of conditions. This is when you find out what you really are made of and what you really got.
David Reagan, the rookie, led the first lap.
A guy on the move is in the center of that pack right there. Jeff Burton in the 31 car started back in the 26th position. He's almost to the top 5, and we've not even completed 2 laps yet.
Yeah, he had a great car yesterday in practice, Larry. I watched
that side, great start. Still that side.
Great start is right. They had that car tuned up pretty well for practice. Looks like it's performing in the race also.
And Darrell, what's impressive, he's moving up through the middle, and that's something you're not able to do a whole lot.
No, you usually call that the sucker hole. You get in there and you get knocked around, beat around, and usually don't go very far. But he's going fast and far.
Chip Burton. He looks at Speedways like stepping stones. Back on Saturday night's Bud Level Shootout, the car they ran that night, it just would not suck up, meaning pull up on the car in front, and people didn't want to work with them. This car, they've spent a lot of time in practice getting it to suck up so it maneuvers through traffic. They were very confident coming in. Their goal is to win today and use that as a stepping stone to Sunday so he can win another crown jewel event.
Johnny Sauter had the lead going into turn 3 and lost first, second, and maybe third place between there and the finish line.
Well, down the backstretch, Burton in the 31 gave him a good shove, which shoved him almost to the lead, and then Burton kind of was back a little bit and couldn't push him on. Now we got a battle for the lead, the two rookies. Gilliland gets a good run in the 38 car off turn 2.
That outside line usually gets a really good shot off of that corner down the back straightaway. It's a lot of grip high, likes to run off of there and get the real good momentum down the back straightaway, as you saw Gilliland do there.
Right now, Jeremy Mayfield and Ward Burton are in the 2 transfer spots. Have a look at our ticker at the top of the screen. Drivers whose names are in black are locked into the Daytona 500 field based on last year's owner points. Drivers in yellow, like Michael Waltrip, not yet in a qualified position. The drivers in green are in the 2 transfer spots, and the drivers in blue know they'll be in the race due to their qualifying speed or provisional, but can improve their fortunes by racing here into one of the 2 green qualified positions. First 2 drivers not yet in the field.
Now we're riding with Michael Waltrip. Remember, he started at the tail end of the field in this 55 car, and he's already made his way up into the top 20. He had actually made it to 15th. He lost a few spots, but he's still got a long ways to go, and remember, still has a pit stop, a car that has to race his way in.
Yeah, he was really making a lot of moves there, and he got hung up in the middle and had to kind of got caught up and got shuffled back.
That's his wife and car owner, Buffy Waltrip.
They're just hoping to be able to make enough money today to pay for that tank of gas that they had the other day. That's about $6,000 a gallon at the for that tank of fuel.
Johnny Sauter, yellow crate number 70, second place. Sauter is in the 500 based on speed, but he can start a whole lot closer to the front if he's in one of those 2 transfer spots like he is right now. It is Sauter and Mike Bliss in the 49, currently in the qualified spots.
Love the draft, though. Comers and goers. Look at the 22 car there, Dave Blaney. Had to go to the rear of the field because of an engine change. He's the top running Toyota right now. He's up into the top 10.
That Blaney car in Bill Davis has they've had some good test speeds, and the car looks really good out here. I think Ward Burton just fell off the pace back there, guys.
He's headed for pit road, and that means one former winner of the 500 may not be in this year's race. He drove the 22 car Blaney's in right now to victory in the 500.
And we're hearing Chris DeVoto just passed some information to us that that may be an engine problem with the 4 car, and that's actually a Hendrick engine for Ward Burton that they had for qualifying and for the 150 qualifying race here.
Larry, the thing's
up, man. I'm really loose. 10-4. Just do what you can there. We'll try to get a caution, okay? Just do what.
I'm not so sure he didn't have an ignition problem because it quit. Now it's going again.
10 former Daytona 500 victories in this race. Dale Jarrett with 3, Michael Waltrip, Bill Elliott 2 apiece. Jimmy Johnson, Ward Burton, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. A first-time racer at Daytona, David Gilliland from Riverside, California, leads the field. Caution is out at Daytona. Jeremy Mayfield got sent scurrying when 2 cars got together up in turns 3 and 4. Keep an eye on Stanton Barrett right there. The black car, top of your screen.
There just was nowhere for Jeremy in the 36 car to go. And we're lucky some other cars were not involved.
Pretty darn good save, I might add.
Right front damage is the most, guys. Right front.
That's just what you call coming together right there. The 30 car, the 43 came together, and the 36 was in the middle. That's the 36 was a rock between 2 hard places that time.
Bobby Labonte involved, and Brandon Witt really had to jump on the brakes to keep from piling right into Jeremy Mayfield's 36.
Now, what I believe this caution will do, we have 10 laps in the book. We have 50 to go. We talked about it at the top of the show. The pit window for fuel is about 45 to 48 laps. I think we will see a very busy pit road, but because we only have 10 laps, Dick Bergman, we could see different strategies. 4 tires, maybe 2 tires, maybe even fuel only on some of them, Dick.
Tony Stewart's strategy is going to be 4 tires. Tom Lampy is going to have to put gas in it. Gooch can't do it because his uniform didn't fit. Matt.
And down in the 38 pit, David Gill has him up on the wall, not calling for any changes. Meanwhile, the 31 of Jeff Burton, he wants it to be freed up quite a bit. His car tight over that early run. Krista?
Well, pit strategy indeed for the number 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Right side tires only is the plan. Jr. also says he may have broken a valve spring. The car is only good in the draft, but it's going to be right side tires only for Dale Jr. and the 8 Bud team. Steve?
It's going to be 4 tires for Jimmy Johnson, Krista. He said the car really feels good. One of the big adjustments for this team, they're going to add some tape to the lower left front grille of that number 48. Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve. They will be headed for pit road this time, and varying strategies.
Well, that's what I expected with this tire combination and this caution coming when it did. It does give you a lot of options, and I like options.
And the track has a little more grip today because it's cool and overcast.
Haven't seen cars dicing and jumping around like we did here in practice.
Johnny Sauter's number 70 and Mike Bliss in the 49 right now in the 2 transfer spots. Only 1 car stays out. Everybody else comes to pit road. Michael Waltrip stays on the racetrack and will pick up the lead.
Johnny Sauter, one of the first guys to his pit boxes. There you see Tony Stewart.
38 slid to his pit box.
To back up.
Had to back up.
4 tires for Stewart and his teammate Denny Hamlin.
4 tires for Jeff Burton. And we're getting a report that the 38 car also drove over his air hose, so there could be a penalty. Right now, David Gillen is going to lose a ton of positions.
Jimmy Johnson had to angle into his pit. He has the last pit stall in front of Dave Blaney there, who scoots out.
Lengthy stop on the 48 car.
He's still there. I mean, he pretty much is all going to go to the back of the field.
Let's look first at what happened to David Gilliland.
Rookie mistake, comes in just a little too hot. Got a little debris on your tires, can't get it wound up. Front end's over the line.
They had to back it back up.
Just what we were talking about, Larry, just a calamity of events on a quick pit stop.
48 a little hot getting into his pit as well, Jimmy Johnson.
Working the first caution flag of the day, Jeremy Mayfield brought it out for a slight contact coming off turn number 4.
Champions make mistakes too.
Getting set for the restart, minus James Hilton, who's being held for a lap for pitting out of the box. You have to pit in your pit stall, and so Hilton's going to be held. Michael Waltrip is the leader. Waltrip is the only car that did not stop on this lap 10 caution flag.
And, you know, we were hearing, and Jeff Hammond and I were talking during the break, there, even though we were calling our pit window 45 to 48 laps, there were some teams in the garage area talking like they could run 51 to 52 laps. Remember, cautions are like 2 to 1 green. You get enough cautions. Michael Waltrip may figure that may be his best shot to try to go up there, not win the race, but win the war, which is be one of the top 2 finishers of the guys that have to race their way in.
I think he's thinking win the race.
Green flag.
This car looks pretty good back there in traffic. See what it does out front here.
Second is Dale Earnhardt Jr., who took just 2 tires. Right now, the transfer spot cars would be Michael Waltrip and Johnny Sauter. Speed and RPM come up as they exit turn 2.
You just barely catch high gear over there in the middle of 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, and then you really start to gain speed down the back, particularly if the guy behind you gives you a little bump.
And because of the way that carburetor restrictor plate works, which takes power away from these cars, it takes a little more than the entire distance of this 2.5-mile track to get up to full speed.
Dave Blaney, the Cat Dodge number 22, having trouble getting up to speed, looks like. Let's see what happened on the restart to Blaney.
Yep, missed a gear.
Steve?
Mike, just wanted to confirm it was, in fact, Dave Blaney, the 22, did miss a gear on that restart.
Now Blaney's in the Daytona 500 based on last year's owner points.
What you got to watch for now is when you over rev one like that, you tag a valve into a piston and you break a valve or a valve spring, and then the engine goes bad. So have to keep an eye on that for Dave.
Michael Waltrip and Johnny Sauter are in the transfer positions right now. For a set, Mike Bliss and open wheeler A.J. Allmendinger trying to race their way in. They'll have to get past Waltrip and Sauter, one or the other, to do it.
We've seen this duo here in the front in the duels before. You know, Michael and Dale Jr. have had some pretty impressive runs when Michael was driving for DEI, and here they are lined up right now, shades of the past.
And Sauter is backing up into that second group. There he is on the outside of the second pack, and he may fall into the clutches of Boris Said. Krista.
Guys, a similar storyline to what we've heard throughout practice here down at Daytona. Dale Jr. is a little hypersensitive about the draft. He's fine when he's in the draft. He cannot, if he falls out of it, push up and get to traffic. Therefore, they took that 2 tires to stay in the draft, and as you guys said, he is with his old drafting partner right now, Michael Waltrip. Dick?
Well, Tony Stewart's crew did a great job in getting him out with 4 tires. He left pit road in the 3rd position. They made a minor chassis adjustment to the automobile. A little quick word on Gooch, his ordinary gas man. Gooch weighs 360 pounds. They couldn't get a uniform to fit him, and that's why they had to have a backup gas man. Matt? Steve?
Look, Dick, tough pit stop for Jimmy Johnson in the 48. He had to swing around the 22. He came very close to hitting the front tire changer Gordy Arbiter, and that's what caused him to overshoot his pits. Then he tried to back up, and he didn't hear Chad Canals.
Whoa,
Trouble, Steve. Got Steve, trouble.
Michael Waltrip tried to come up, and Dale Jr. was there.
Boy, that was ugly right there, guys.
Waltrip tried to squeeze between Jr. and Tony Stewart, and that hole just all closed up in a hurry.
No damage. Good job keeping it off of there.
Caution is out.
Can't imagine he doesn't have some damage. That was pretty hard lick that Michael laid on him back there. He's got to get.
I have to go kind of slow, Junior. I might get a lap here.
Yeah, he's going to have to go slow because his tires are flat and he'll tear the car all to pieces. Looks like the 55's got damage. You can see on the back of Junior's car back here, looks like that's where the most of the damage is on his, but with flat tires, you just got to go real slow. If one of them comes apart, it'll rip the fender right off of the thing. And I'm just not real sure what Michael was thinking here.
Those 3 Chevrolets got quite a run off turn 2.
Oh, Michael was going to try to squeeze in between Tony and Junior. That's what that was all about, and there just wasn't enough room there, bud.
It looked like Michael had more speed off the corner than Junior did, and the hole was closing up between Junior and Stewart.
Just tried to force his way into an area. That camera is a little bit bigger than he thinks it is, I reckon.
But he misjudged it by a lot.
And they're.
Let's ride with Dale Jr.
So inside, Dale Jr., you've got all the help in your lane.
I don't think that's the kind of help he was talking about.
From Jeff Burton.
On the bottom by himself. 38's taking a look on the bottom. Spin in front of you. Keep coming. Caution's out. Caution's out. Good job, boss. Good job.
And from Michael Waltrip's car.
Up outside. All of them lined up outside. Got a little hole behind the 8. Half a car length back to the 20.
And you heard the spotter say, little hole behind the 8.
Caution's out. Caution's out.
Could be a failure to communicate right there. When you got a new spotter, sometimes you got to learn what a little hole means and what clear means.
A number of cars are pitting, including Waltrip, Robbie Gordon, Kenny Wallace, Ward Burton, Dale Jarrett, Jeremy Mayfield are in, Bill Elliott, Dave Blaney, who's in a Camry, not a Dodge, that was last year, and A.J. Allmendinger and Bobby Labonte are pitting.
A lot of cars that were at the rear of the field really not giving up a whole lot by going ahead and coming to pit road, more adjustments and 4 more tires.
Tony Stewart is our leader, 18 laps in to the first duel at Daytona.
Welcome back to Daytona and the Duel's question of the day. If you have shattered all of the records for penalties for rule violations at Daytona, how can you possibly create more controversy than Michael Waltrip already
Spin
has?
Dale Earnhardt Jr., I guess.
Bingo.
That's exactly it. I mean, he heard him say it right there a minute ago during the conversation. The car started pushing on him, but I think it had a lot to do. Older tires than anybody else. He got in the 8 car off a turn 2.
Meantime, a tip of the hat to those 2 rookies who started on the front row and did not cause any problem. Nice work, Gilliland and Reagan. Let's go back to the guys upstairs.
James Hilton is the free pass car. First car 1 lap down when they line up. There's rookie David Gilliland. Johnny Rutherford won a qualifying race here in 1963 in his first ever NASCAR start. This is not Gilliland's first NASCAR start. It is his first Daytona attempt. Denny Hamlin riding 5th. Reed Sorensen behind him. Kenny Schrader just ahead of him.
Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car did go a lap down, limping around, trying to keep from tearing his fenders and quarter panels. He's only car a lap down, so he lines up on the inside. If he does not inherit the lead, if we get a caution, he will get the free pass. He'll be back on the lead lap with 41 laps to go.
Tony Stewart, Jeff Burton, David Gilliland, Kenny Schrader, the front 4. In the transfer spots, Johnny Sauter and Mike Bliss. This is Clint Boyer in 9th place. Sauter just ahead.
Based on what we saw in the Bud shootout, if that 20 car gets in front, it could be all over, but the shout.
Krista, how about the damage to Dale Jr.'s car?
You know, Dale Jr. was really pretty calm on the radio. He said the damage is not as bad as he thought it would have been. And they did put, obviously, 4 tires on there. The funniest thing, though, is his radio communication right after the contact happened. He said, quote, "He turned me." That's weird. Matt?
David Gilliland rebounding from that incident on pit road. The other issue that you didn't see from the video on the left side of the car, because he was so close to the wall after locking him up, Jackman Rodney Feathers had to pump the jack about 9 extra times to get the left side up. Lost a few positions. They are rebounding, working their way slowly back to the front. He did make an adjustment with the brake bias to try to tighten it up.
Thanks, Matt. Jeff Burton to the inside on Gilliland.
Well,
looking for Stewart.
Gilliland put that move on him down here in turns 1 and 2, and here comes Jeff right back. But David's not going to give up on the outside. That 38 car is strong, boys.
And he has help behind him with Denny Hamlin in 11. And remember, had all those problems on that pit stop a couple of cautions ago, had to restart way at the back of the pack. Here he's back up there in the 2nd position.
Michael Waltrip still on the lead lap, said over his in-car radio that he picked up a wicked push coming off turn 2, and that is what put him up and into Dale Jr.
Look at that 38, Larry, right down on the bottom, driving alongside of Tony Stewart coming off of turn 2 over there, and this dude is on it.
He is strong, but right now Tony Stewart in the 20, he has help from his teammate Denny Hamlin in that FedEx 11 car, and look at old Kenny Schrader in the 21 car there, trying to move up into the top 5.
Well, if Gilliland could get some help, they'd be in trouble here, because he's hung on the bottom by himself and still holding his own right there.
But help is on the way behind him now, because they're 2 by 2, looks like about 7 or 8 rows deep.
Trouble.
Smash, Robbie Gordon.
A.J. Allmendinger, caution is out. Now, Robbie Gordon in the 7, that is a car that is locked into the show, top 35 in owner points, but A.J. Allmendinger, I think that's pretty much going to probably send him to the house.
Yep.
Look at the damage to Gordon's car. Last month completed in the 15-day Dakar Rally. And he had a beautiful piece when this one started. Watch his number 7, middle of your screen. Ian Allmendinger.
Allmendinger.
Doesn't take much at 190 miles per hour.
Bobby Labonte, Jeremy Mayfield, quick to take evasive action. And caution is out again. A.J. Allmendinger's day is done. The open wheel star is done for the day in his Toyota Camry. Let's have a look at speeds coming into turn 4 between his 84 and Robbie Gordon's number 7.
Yeah, I think Robbie was trying to get out from behind Sauter there in the 70 car, and maybe didn't give AJ quite enough room at the closing rate he had. Sure, he's not going to see it that way, but we'll find out.
Robbie has gone to the garage. He's out of his car and is with Dick Berggren.
And he's been watching the replays on our pit side monitor. What have you seen?
Well, I obviously came down on the 84. I do have some reason for it, though. Coming off turn 2, the 72 checked up big time, and he was on the high groove, and he must be tight or something, so I wanted to get down, tried to get down. Thought I was clear. I was clear for a second, and then we got together.
It is just so easy for cars to get together when somebody is changing lanes here, Mike.
But Robbie Gordon will be in the Daytona 500. He's locked in based on his point position from last year.
A couple of things that has happened with this caution. You saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. as we watched Kenny Wallace on pit road topping off with the fuel. Dale Earnhardt Jr. did get the free pass. He's back on the lead lap. He made a pit stop. We didn't have a lot of takers to pit road, with the exception of Jeff Burton in the 31 car came to pit road and changed 4 tires. And what they're checking here is just the alignment of the front tires, what we call the toe in or the toe out, to make sure the front tires are in the location that they should be.
Little artistic work on the aerodynamics in the left rear.
And they have nothing to lose here. Take your time. It takes a long time for those cars to get around here under caution. Remember,
the bottom of the sprinkled. Go ahead and go.
When you get the free pass, you have to start at the tail end of the field, so nothing lost there.
Let's talk about the field. Stewart the leader, Gilliland, Hamlin, Truex, and Schrader. The first 5 cars are locked into the 500 on last year's points. Johnny Sauter is in the first transfer spot, and Boris Said is in the second. Stanton Barrett is 1 position away from making it into the Daytona 500. How many horsepower in that thing?
1,420.
Yikes.
2 V10 Viper Ilmore engines in that bad boy. It'll get over 100 miles an hour down that 3,800 foot back straightaway.
Right.
In the water, I hope.
27 laps complete this time. Tony Stewart leading David Gilliland, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex, Kenny Schrader as we go back to green. Johnny Sauter and Boris Said are in the transfer spots. Now they are already locked into the 500 field based on speed, but they can improve their starting spot by transferring in right here.
Has looked like the Budweiser shootout up there at the front. Tony Stewart won the race on Saturday night. David Gilliland in the 38 ran second as we ride with Denny Hamlin in the 11 car.
I tell you, that 38, old Big Bertha there, that's what they call her. Buddy Parrott was my crew chief. We had a Big Bertha, and of course Todd named that car Big Bertha, and she's getting the job done. Like the way that thing's handling, Larry.
And it drove good for him the other night. A different car, but I'm sure a lot of the same setup and same package.
Steve Burns.
Mike, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is having a rough day, but his teammate Martin Truex Jr. is having a fabulous day. When the caution flew recently, he told crew chief Kevin Mannion, "I can't believe how awesome this car is. I've never had a car this good here at Daytona." Kevin calmly replied, "I told you you had a winning car."
I love his crew chiefs. They always tell you that. Hey, you can be sideways, and they tell you got a winning car, dude.
But I tell you, Steve, Darrell, that group started clicking so well the end of last year, finished second at Homestead Miami Speedway the last race of the year, really started coming together in the latter part of 06.
Most of this field now single file. Let's go back and take another look at the Robbie Gordon, A.J. Allmendinger incident that Gordon said happened because of his inability to get around the 72 of Brandon Witt.
Yeah, it's right here. Brandon Witt, the 72 car. It breaks Robbie's momentum off of turn 2. Here comes Allmendinger in 84 on the inside. Now, Robbie says, now I'm faster than that guy, but I have got to get out behind Brandon Witt here, the 72 car. Drafts him into the corner. Right along in here, he sees that he needs to get out behind 72. He's slowing down again. He starts to come down. Allmendinger just holds his line. He doesn't really go up. He doesn't really go down, but Robbie comes down into him. Heavy, heavy contact off turn 4.
Dick Berggren.
A.J. Allmendinger has emerged from the care center. Racing is filled with disappointments. You will not start at the Daytona 500. How does this disappointment stack up against others you've experienced?
It's not good. You know, I mean, I just feel bad for the whole Team Red Bull guys, everybody back in the shop, and
everybody here, they've worked their butts off, and they deserve to be in the 500. And hopefully Brian can get them in the next duel, because these guys at the whole team, they deserve it. And I was trying my butt off, and I felt like I was right on the yellow line and had nowhere to go. And as he started to come down, I tried to lift, and by that time I'd clipped him, and you saw what happened after that.
And we could see the disappointment in your face. We'll see you in California next week.
And I think both drivers are absolutely telling it like it was. Robbie said, hey, I came down, and you heard AJ say, hey, I lifted. We came together, we crashed.
Under green, Stewart leads, but there's a slugfest going on for drivers looking for transfer spots here. Sauter and Said have the positions, but right behind Said, Stanton Barrett in the 30, Michael Waltrip, Ward Burton, all trying to race their way into the 500. Riding with Waltrip in 15th.
One thing you can hear on Michael's car, he's not lifting. And that's very important here. The longer you go into a run, if you can stay in the throttle, the more cars you're going to pass, because that's hard to do over a long period of time.
But Darryl, you could see when he hit the straightaway with him getting the shove, even though he's not lifting, it went from about 183 up to over 191. That's the way the draft works. You run faster, lined up.
16 cars, single file. At the head of this freight train is Tony Stewart. No driver has ever won the shootout, the dual race, and the Daytona 500 in the same year.
You know, Brandon Witt's car is just not handling. He's in the 72 here. And once again, you see him right in the middle of the racetrack. Looks like the thing just gets, like has to get out of the throttle. And of course, here comes Dale Jr. this time. Jr. says, dude, will you go on? Or get out of my way. And look what it cost Dale Jr.
Kenny Wallace just ahead of Jr.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is back on the lead lap, but right now he's back in the 25th position as he pulls up on the back bumper of the 43 car of Bobby Labonte.
And you know what you can't believe when you got a car like Junior's car is fast. We know that. He can't pass these guys. Get up front, they can't pass you. Get back here, you can't pass them.
Johnny Sauter picked up 2 spots that lap. He is up to 7th. And right now is in one of the 2 transfer spots. Boris said 12th place is the other. Stanton Barrett in the 30, right behind Boris on the outside lane. 9 cars back.
Tell you what, I was looking at that inside line right there. You see Reed Sorensen, and that's Casey Mears in the 25 car on the inside line. But remember, Reed Sorensen, we're looking out at him right now from Jimmy Johnson's car, the 41 car, only got 1 lap of qualifying in the other day, had to start way at the back of the field, but all 3 of the Ganassi Sabatos cars look strong here this weekend. That was my first mulligan. I was thinking Greg Biffle looking at a National Guard.
Yeah, the National Guard, and then, of course, Casey Mears didn't drive that car last year either, so.
Here's Greg Biffle in the 16, now the Ameriquist car. Still the number 16 for Roush Racing. And right in the midst of that group, Boris said in the 60, Stanton Barrett, the Hollywood stuntman, in the 30, trying to fight for that last transfer spot, and Michael Waltrip dropping a spot behind Jeff Burton there. He's also trying to move up and transfer.
You see the 2 Childers cars there, Jeff Burton in the 31 and his teammate Clint Boyer in the 07. That was actually 2 of the cars that elected to come to pit road together on that last caution, and they've been staying bumper to bumper, working their way back up through the field.
Tell you what, these guys back here in this little pack better watch out. Those first 4 or 5 up there, they'll break away from this group, and they're in trouble if they do.
How about Jeff Burton, Matt?
He was one of those cars, Mike, that pitted for the fresher tires to have a better car at the end of the race. The car's still loose. He came on the radio, told his spotter, tell Ward to jump in behind us. Myself in the 07 will try to draft our way to the front, trying to help his brother make the Great American Race.
Now, Darryl, we saw the sucker hole being a sucker hole right there with Reed Sorensen in the 41 and Jeff Green in the 66 car. They just couldn't go anywhere in the middle.
Yeah, you got air coming off of the car on the outside and the inside. It usually slows you down, plus makes it very difficult to hang on to your race car. You're in a vacuum with air flying all over you, and it really pushes you around.
36 of 60 laps complete. This is the first of 2 150-mile qualifying races today to set the field for Sunday's Daytona 500 on Fox.
Watch what happens when you get caught in the sucker hole. Boy, there's some quick moves right there. What's the 41 car here? Here he comes. He gets up out. He probably has to get out of the throttle just a little bit because he had cars all around him. And look how quickly you go to the back. Even with help, he's got the 66 behind him, not doing a bit of good.
This will be a great shot here from the Goodyear blimp.
Now he backs up, and poor Jeff Green in the 66 caught right in the middle. Nowhere for him to go.
The only thing you can do is wait till they all get by, fall in line, and start all over.
See the Burton brothers there, nose to tail, 31-4, as Matt told you. Tony Stewart is the Pied Piper of this first 150-miler, continuing to haul them around, lapping the track at 48.5 seconds.
I guess it would be confusing to say you're going backwards at 185, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
It confused me.
Michael Waltrip in the 55 car, Stanton Barrett in the 30 car, both cars that have to race their way in. Right now back in about the 11th and 12th position.
What's making that 55 car so good, as I listen to the engine and the telemetry, is he's not having the lift. The further into these runs we go, the more that becomes an asset.
Which is a sign of a good handling race car.
Barrett now 4th of the go-or-go-home drivers. He's got to get up to 2nd to make the 500. Tony Stewart, David Gilliland lead. Johnny Sauter and Boris Said are in the transfer spots.
Welcome back to the Gatorade Duel 150's on Speed, presented by Pennzoil. And we are under caution here for debris on the racetrack. We'll give you an opportunity to see where that debris came from in a moment. There is the debris in question. Take a quick look back at the action here. Any major surprises from your standpoint?
Not really. I think we're seeing the guys that we expect to be up front, Tony Stewart and the rest of the guys. It looks pretty much what we expected, I think.
One of the things that's been impressive is the performance of rookie David Gilliland. Daytona rookie David Gilliland started on the pole, had a little rookie mistake on the pit stop, skidded her in there a little hot, and they managed to take care of that and move on. Hey, even champions can have problems on pit road. That's Jimmy Johnson with a very long stop that has dropped him downfield.
Yeah, but things really got interested on about lap 17 when Michael Walker pushed up off of turn 2, got into leader Dale Earnhardt Jr., and around he went. Both cars have continued, but later on, A.J. Allmendinger gets into Robbie Gordon off of turn 4, takes both of these cars out of this 150-miler.
And as Gordon's car goes to pit to the garage area, Allmendinger having a pretty decent run. Here's how we got the latest caution. The 6th car of David Reagan cutting down a left rear tire. And that is the reason for the caution. Let's go trackside to Dick Berg right there.
And his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, said, what do you want to do? Tony Stewart said, might as well come. They're going to put 4 tires on it. The car's balance is just right. Matty.
And the driver right behind him, David Gilliland, they're waiting to see exactly what Stewart will do. He was also complaining, Gilliland, the water temperature climbed to 270 degrees. Earl Barb and his spotter was looking to see if there was debris on the grill. They said no. Steve.
Matt, listening to Martin Truex, when this caution came out, his car went from awesome to being a little bit too loose. He said, I'm really loose with cars on my bumper. They're going to take right side tires. Krista.
A lot of activity in the 55. That's because they are doing the tap dance, the math game of whether Michael Waltrip will make it on time or not. On this stop, they're going to be 4 tires, no adjustments. Michael is a little loose. They're going to get a splash in fuel just in case it goes to a green-white checkered. But Michael is very conscious in that car of where he's at on the track and which guys need to qualify in time behind him or in front of him. Right now, he is the top guy, Mike Joy.
Thanks, Krista. Jeff Burton stays on the racetrack. Everyone else but James Hilton comes to pit road.
But remember, Jeff Burton in the 31 car, he pitted about 10 or 12 laps ago on that last caution, which is, I'm sure, why his crew chief, Scott Miller, elected to leave him out. But the problem, he's basically the only one that did stay out as far as our top running cars.
Greg Biffle overshot his pit, had to back up. There's Gilliland away. Clint Boyer is out. Tony Stewart out pretty quickly. And it's Martin Truex going to lead the charge off pit road.
I tell you who continues to have troubles on pit road was the 48 car. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson had troubles again.
He's locking up the right front, Larry, and it's just sliding him right through his pit box.
So caution is out with 18 laps to go in the first of 2 150-mile qualifiers. Getting ready for the restart on Speed's coverage of the duels at Daytona, presented by Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic motor oil with adaptive molecules. And by Chevrolet, an American revolution. 16 laps to go in the first of 2 qualifying races here at Daytona. How about exercise that surround sound you got for Christmas, or maybe repair it after last year's NASCAR on Fox season with new speakers? Time on this restart to crank it up. Keep an eye on that bright orange car behind Denny Hamlin, 58 right there. James Harvey Hilton, 72 years old. Right now, he's in one of those transfer spots. He did not pit. Back straight away. David Reagan was the free pass car. He was trailing the field, trying to catch up under green, and crashed.
You know, I believe he's had left rear tire or right rear tire problems again. What has caused this? You can see the right rear tire there that's down. And there's not a whole lot of damage back there, except where I think he had the flat tire earlier. But the window net's down.
He's hit the wall a ton, I can tell you that. Look at that nose. Goodness gracious.
I believe that's the culprit that caused that.
5th caution of the day, and there goes rookie David Reagan. $14 laps to go in Daytona, as aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear tires, featuring triple tread technology, 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. These shots from the Goodyear blimp. There's the start finish line, and the pace car brings them across. 13 laps to go.
Now, there's one thing that we always are taught here at Daytona, particularly about any racetrack really, but this one for sure. When you start to spin a car out here, when it gets out of control, don't try to save it. Lock it down. It's what we call lock the brakes down. Turn the wheels to the left, because with the wheels turned to the right, bam, you go right back out into the wall. If you had them turn left, you'll slide down the infield, come back and get you 4 tires, try it again.
May have ended up like Dale Earnhardt Jr. No damage, just need 4 more tires.
It's a hard thing to do, but it's a principle that works.
Tomorrow, right here on Speed, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series kicks off its season, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Sunday on Speed, race day, get you ready for the Daytona 500 on Fox. Race day, 11 a.m. The Daytona 500 on Fox, 2 p.m. Eastern Time in high definition.
Now let's update our leader, Jeff Burton, just to talk about his situation. As we see James Hilton in the 58 car, right now he would be one of the cars that would transfer, although we have about 12 laps to go. But Jeff Burton, I like where he's at right now, Darrell. His tires are not that old. Even if his tires have some laps, these cautions are helping his situation. And throw in the fact that he has his teammate right behind him.
That's what I was going to say. You like his position. I like his teammate's position, which is right behind me, pushing me.
You know, it's been a while since I've read the book. How old was Cinderella?
Cinderella?
Wasn't she like 18, 20 years old? I bet she wasn't 72. And right now, the glass slipper fits this man.
Yep.
James Hilton, with sponsorship from Retirement Living, a small cable network that caters to the Geritol set, if you will. He is going to make the Daytona 500 if he can stay where he is or have only Johnny Sauter pass him. If Michael Waltrip said Mike Bliss can't get to him, Hilton's in the race.
And that right there was the 1966 Nextel Cup Rookie of the Year, when a lot of these guys he's racing against right now in this race, they were not even born.
That baby's a chariot right now.
Dave Despain was here then. I think
I think Berggren definitely was.
No, not true. Not true. I was hoping to be able to use that line. I looked it up. I thought he was Rookie of the Year in '72, the first year I did come here. The majority of the field, that's 41 years ago, majority of the field weren't born then.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing is right now. But look at what we're setting the stage for right now, Dave. We're coming down with like probably 13, 14 laps to go here now. It's time to get up on the wheel. Bill Elliott sitting back there. He needs to race his way up in here. It's time to start pushing and shoving. So I think you might have to say the price of poker is getting ready to go up.
For those who are not yet in the Daytona 500, the opportunity is beginning to run out. We've had 5 different leaders in the race thus far, 5 lead changes and 5 cautions. And how about Jeff Burton, who won the pole for the 2006 Daytona 500, came down here this year, qualified so badly, and yet the car has run like Jack the Bear on the racetrack.
But he said all along when I talked to him about this, last year they brought a car to sit on the pole, and they did exactly that. This year they brought a car back that they could win this race with, and I think he's starting to prove that their theory, and at least that philosophy, is paying off.
Drafting the pace car as we get ready for the restart. Let's go back upstairs.
You know how I know Despain is old? Jack the Bear. I hadn't heard that in 30 years.
Yeah, Jack the Bear
next thing he's going to say is it's going to be too wet to race, or the Bear's going to get you, or whatever the rest of that is.
I got that from you, DW. I got that from you.
Running like Jack the Bear.
If Jeff Burton wins this race, he'll start on the 2nd row of the Daytona 500, Matt.
And a lot of conversation on the radio. Scott Miller's crew chief actually thought more guys would stay out. The conversation under the yellow, his teammate right behind, they're concerned about the orange car, the 20 of Tony Stewart, waiting a lap, then working his way around Boyer. Burton simply said on the radio, just tell Clint to run his own race. I'll run mine. Just do what he has to do, and I'll do the same. We'll work together if we can, but you never know in this type of stuff.
Well, there's a 2-car streamliner right behind them, and it's Tony Stewart and Dale Jr. When they hook up, watch out.
But that's the voice of experience from Burton. Don't try to help me. We'll probably end up hurting each other. Let's work together best we can. Then you go your way, I'll go mine.
11 laps to go as we're back under green. Can James Hilton hold on to a qualified spot ahead of Johnny Sauter, Michael Waltrip, Boris Sett, and Mike Bliss? Let's find out.
Well, we know he has the equipment. That's a good race car. That's a Richard Childress race car.
He and Sauter drafting together right side of your screen.
Bring her down, Jay. Bring her down. Suck up to the 11.
Richard Childress car with a Richard Childress engine.
Suck up to the 11 there.
I'm sure James would say back, would if I could.
Well, he can.
He's doing it.
I don't think there's any question about the car. He's very capable of doing that.
Hilton was runner-up for what is now the Nextel Cup in 1967 and 1971. In 65, he was the champion crew chief for Ned Jarrett.
And you can see the car is handling very well. He's got help from behind, and they're pretty much in the catbird seat right now.
Looking good. Just follow the 11 tracks. Follow the 11 tracks.
And of course, Johnny Sauter in the 70 car, he is right behind him. He would get in as far as racing his way in, but he's in the show no matter what because he was one of those fastest 3 cars of the go or go home.
Hold her down and follow the 11. Hold her down and follow the 11.
This would be one of the most incredible upsets in Daytona 500 history if James Harvey Hilton, age 72, could make this race.
Speaking of a race, we got a race for the lead. Tony Stewart, that 20 car.
That was Burton's biggest fear. Oh, we got trouble going into 3, guys. Got an engine blowing.
Reed Sorensen. Caution is out.
Yeah, that's
hold your line.
Big time
blow. 2 more coming. 36 is the last one.
Now, when
coming
caution
inside,
comes
inside,
out,
inside. All right, you're going to take that right to the garage.
the field freezes based on the last of many scoring loops around this racetrack that the cars pass over.
Not wrecking that car.
So the field is frozen at the moment those caution lights come on. Drivers cannot advance their position.
Let's update one other thing about James Hilton in the 58 car, Mike. Remember, it was not that many laps ago. He was a lap down. He was penalized a lap for overshooting his pits. He got the free pass, and here he is up there running in the top 10. And right now, he's about 8.5 laps away, if he can stay where he's at, of making the 49th annual Daytona 500.
And these little short runs are really good for James, I'm telling you.
He has 2 wins in Nextel Cup, Richmond in 1970, Talladega in 1972. 4 poles and his own banner tow plane
go James,
over the
go.
Speedway.
Well, we saw Kurt Schammerdine, you know, in one of Childress's cars do the same thing, race his way into the 500, and here sits my old buddy,
You know, Richard Childress, since he got out of the driver's seat, not only has he made a lot of drivers famous, as here's Hilton, his first race, won $100.
And that was driving for Ned Jarrett, actually.
Hey, yes. I told the story on one of our practice shows. He got in the car to get starting money, and because Ned thought, because it was a road course, he might just keep racing around, they towed the cars on an open trailer then, put a locking gas cap on Hilton's car, and the key was in Ned's pocket, so when he came in for fuel, he couldn't get it. He had to park the car. He knew James would run all day if he could.
But, you know, I spent a little bit of time talking to James Hilton down here at the test in January, and, you know, you could see the grin behind his full-face helmet. It's like he told me, he said, Larry, I know it's a long shot making the Daytona 500, but you know what? I'm having fun, and I'm enjoying myself.
There's Hilton's pit. I don't care how many Rocky movies they make. They're going to have to get up to about Rocky 88 to tell the story of James Hilton. This is fantastic.
Who would have thunk it?
So Hilton right now, the first of the transfer spots, Sauter second, and the man who's trying to break that up is Michael Waltrip. Krista is in his pit.
Yeah, guys, a lot of tension down here. You know, Michael Waltrip had kind of worked with Reed Sorensen there. They were lined up to work together in the draft. So when Reed's engine blew, a little bit of a scary moment. But if you're taking a look at the monitor here, you can see a lot of talk about the star cars. You see all the names in yellow there. Those are the guys who have to race in. That is what the 55 crew is monitoring. You can see Michael Waltrip with Boris Said behind him. Now, Boris is already in. But then look at after Biffle, look at that clump right there. Mike Bliss, Dale Jarrett, Ward Burton, Kenny Wallace. Those are the guys Michael Waltrip is concerned with, as well as James Hilton and Johnny Sauter in front of him. All the talk down here, guys, the star cars.
Chevrolet. Now remember that car.
They want to be stars on Sunday. They don't want those lights to go out Thursday night.
Hey, Larry, I bet old James sitting there saying, man, it's the longest Daytona 500 I ever been in.
James Hilton's last 500 was 1983. The most recent Cup race, 1993 at Darlington. On the Fox ticker, the two green position cars. Right now, James Hilton and Johnny Sauter, you'll see their names in green. They are in the Daytona 500 based on where they are right now. Drivers in blue, we know they'll be there based on speed or provisional. And the drivers whose names are in yellow have some work to do in these final 6 laps.
James Harvey got him a good restart there, keeping up. Sauter's looking underneath him going into one here. That could be bad news for James.
Yeah, because Johnny has friends with him. See Jimmy Johnson, the 48, Schrader, the 21, the whole group there, kicking him to the high side. There's the race right there. That's the race right there for the transfer.
Michael Waltrip moves into second transfer spot ahead of Boris Said.
Yeah, once James got up out of the draft, he's pretty well done.
What a week Michael Waltrip's had. Intake manifold removed when a NASCAR inspector found a substance they could not identify. New manifold put on, and eventually the car impounded. Crew chief and team manager sent home. $100,000 fine, 100 points. But they said, Michael, you can take your backup car and try to get in the 500, but you have to race your way in.
And I want to tip my hat to that race team. They lost their crew chief. They lost their team manager. This is a race car that has not been on the racetrack this week. Michael is driving his car untested except for the test in January. So a big tip of the hat gives Casey Mears a little shot down the backstretch.
It's not even his car.
It's Rudimann's backup
It's David
car.
Rudimann's car. They chose that car because they felt it was a little bit better than Michael's backup. I think they might have been right.
Many people thought with Michael starting out back in an untested car, he had no chance to make the 500. He is proving them wrong right now.
Boy, Mike Bliss in that 49 car behind Johnny Sauter. What a run. He got off at turn 4, pulled right up to the rear bumper. Remember, that's another one of these race your way in cars, as well as Ward Burton in the 4 in the middle.
Ward's done a really good job of coming back from trouble early, and here he is trying to race his way in. And this is when these elimination races or qualifying races really get exciting. It's all on the line now.
It'll be 3 laps to go this time by.
There's Buffy, it's Michael's wife, and I know how she feels, right, honey? Steve, I'm talking about my wife, Stevie.
But there's a pack of cars all looking for one of those 2 positions. And in the Hilton pit,
Whoa, we got a car around. It's Ward Burton. Up the hill he goes. Look out, James Harvey.
Caution will fly.
Field freezes.
They'll come to the line with, this should be 3 to go.
Bill Elliott gets through.
Check your brakes.
66 car got damaged as well.
Don't pit road, guys.
And that'll be it for Ward Burton. His week at Daytona is over.
Johnny Sauter's teammate Jeff Green in the 66 car actually had moved his way up through the field. Car that's locked in, but he's got a lot of damage.
Let's first show you from the Goodyear blimp. Watch the number 4, right side of your screen, behind Jimmy Johnson. All right, there's Ward Burton.
Looks like there's a lot of cars in front of him that slow down a little bit and back out of the throttle maybe a tad, and here come Ward. He had nowhere to go.
And it looks like the 49 car didn't check up as well, Mike Bliss, and just got into the back of Ward Burton in the 4 car. I think this was
Michael
right
yeah, see Michael get in the back of Casey Mears. That bottled everybody up, and then Ward got hit from behind. Jimmy Johnson almost got the wall off 4 there. I don't know if he did or not.
Looks like Casey Mears in the 25, his car walked up the racetrack a little bit. He probably had to roll out of the throttle just a little bit.
And it's like an accordion, or coming up to a red light. The further back you go from when something happens, the less time everyone has to react to it. Jeff Green, the Blue Ox number 66. A lot of right front damage. Now he's in the Daytona 500.
Blue Ox, we all use their towing bars for our motorhomes.
Sit on TV here.
Tow our vehicles behind the motorhomes.
And Ward Burton, his return to Nextel Cup racing, marred by not making the Daytona 500 for Morgan McClure Racing, a team that has won here several times.
And Mike, I know it's a 36 race schedule, but when you miss the first race of the season, not only does it put you in a hole points wise, then you've got the job of trying to regroup that race team, because you know what, a week from the day we have to be in Fontana, California getting ready for the second race.
What's really disappointing to Ward, because he's sitting there in a spot where he could have gotten in, and he knew this was going to be a struggle for him with this team this year. He had a shot and it's gone now, gone up in smoke.
But you hate to be taken out by somebody else's near miss. Ward Burton into the wall and done for the week.
Sunday, Daytona 500 pre-race show. Will he stay or will he go? Dale Earnhardt Jr. outspoken here in Daytona. Find out the latest on Junior and DEI. And we'll be talking live with reigning champion Jimmy Johnson. Also, the newlywed and father-to-be Jeff Gordon with his hands full, but Chris Myers found time to catch up with him. He's raced kart, Formula One, can he conquer NASCAR? Colombian-born one Pablo Montoya telling us about himself in his own words. And, of course, the highly anticipated debut of Photo Finish. All this plus Kelly Clarkson performing live. It's all Sunday on the Daytona 500 pre-race show. 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 11 Pacific, right here on Fox. Aerial coverage today brought to you by Goodyear Tires. Triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. I'm thinking about Michael Waltrip and Toyota, and all those Toyota executives looking down their noses and talking about integrity and embarrassment. That's all going to be forgotten if he races his way into the Daytona 500 today, Jeff.
And he is doing a tremendous job right now. I mean, he's just definitely, we talked about the fight. He has battled his way all day long after getting into Dale Earnhardt Jr. The team worked on the car, and he just keeps fighting his way back. I mean, it's like he's not going to give up until this checkered flag drops.
Remarkable to be able to do that with a car that he hadn't even sat in.
Oh, that's incredible. I think it really shows the talent of Michael Waltrip and the determination. I think this is the way you find redemption, is by going up and doing something everybody's going to be writing about.
He's in the catbird seat in terms of those who have to race their way in. Let's go back topside and see how it turns out.
Michael Waltrip 9th overall, Boris Said 11th. They are in the 2 transfer spots. They'll be shown in green in your running order as we get set for overtime. 1 attempt at a green-white checker finish, because we have now crossed 60 laps, the scheduled distance for this race.
You know, Mike, all through the years, Michael has never run bad at Daytona and Talladega. It didn't matter what he drove. back even to the Country Time Lemonade car, the Wood Brothers car, the DEI cars, all the cars he's driven. He's always had a knack for this racetrack.
Pressure's on Mike Bliss because Johnny Sauter will be in the 500. He can fall back on his qualifying speed. Mike Bliss cannot. And the past champion of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series going to have to get up on the wheel. He has been in a qualified spot for part of this race. He's got 2 laps to get back there.
It will be a single file restart, and as you said, 1 attempt at this green-white checker.
Tony Stewart won the Budweiser shootout, trying to go to victory lane in the duel. He and Dale Jr. lead the field with 2 to go.
Jeff Burton in the 31 did not get a good restart, or he purposely lagged back just a little bit. Got David Gilliland in the 38 pushing him.
I believe Junior and Tony will be pretty happy to just ride this one on home.
James Hilton back at 20th spot.
I wouldn't leave the bottom open like that, though, for those 2 Childress cars, and for David Gilliland back there as well. That's a pretty potent combination, actually, the 31 to 38. They could get a nice run here.
They have definitely been 2 of the stronger cars.
Tony Stewart, though, finding the short way around right on the bottom.
Well, boys, I'd say 1 to go. This is where desperation will set in for some of these guys. They know they only have 1 more shot to get it done. White flag.
Tell you one thing, Johnny Sauter is working over the back bumper of Dale Jarrett. Actually, it's
Boris Said.
Boris Said, I'm sorry.
Said in the 60, Sauter in the 70. They're both in on time. Here comes Bliss in the 49. Bliss has to pass them both to make the 500.
Getting a little help back there from Greg Biffle in the 16 car.
Michael's in pretty good shape. He's got his buddy Kenny Schrader right behind him.
And Dale Jr. cannot advance on the leader. Here comes Bliss. He could do it. He's past Sauter.
Man, we might be all right here.
He's alongside Said. Here they come to the line.
It's going to be close. It's going to be real close.
Stewart's going to win it. Waltrip is in. Said may have eclipsed Bliss by a nose.
He just couldn't quite get there. Almost. He needed about another 100 yards.
Just a little over 1/100th of a second.
Redemption for Michael Waltrip. And for Mike Bliss, we'll look at the pictures, but it appears that Boris Said has locked Mike Bliss out of the 500.
Wow, that's about as
Tony Stewart gets his 2nd checkered flag of the weekend and his 4th of the year. He won 2 open wheel races before coming to Daytona.
Tell you what, it's been a while since he didn't win anything at Daytona.
No, that's true.
appreciate working with you.
Teammates, Jarrett and Waltrip. Let's look at the finish for the final transfer spot between number 60, Boris Said, and the BAM Racing Dodge 49, Mike Bliss.
Bliss just needs a little wee bit more room. He got a great run. He gets in the middle here, and here he comes. He's got a good pull off of the 48 car. And right here, the 48 and runs up on the back of Casey Mears, and it kind of slows the progress of the 49. The inside line starts to move. He's trying, just can't quite get there. Jimmy's trying to give him a little room on the inside between the 2 of them. Didn't make it.
2 feet away from making the 500. Mike Bliss.
Great try, great effort.
Great drive.
You know, back to Michael Waltrip in the 55 car. Remember, his crew chief, David Hyder, suspended indefinitely. The crew chief that has been moved in place, Scott Eggleston. Scott won the Daytona 500 with Michael back in 2001 for DEI in the 15 car.
Now, in this complex qualifying procedure, the man rooting hardest for Boris Said in that race was David Rudiman, the rookie Toyota driver, because now that Said has raced his way in, he won't need to fall back on his speed to make the race, and Rudiman will be guaranteed of a spot in the 500 on speed.
So Michael's got all 3 of his cars in the race.
And Rudiman can finally eat after about a week. I know he's been tore up about this deal, Darrell.
They'll have to go in the bathroom and drag him out because that's where he's been for 2 days. And I don't know what.
Yeah, I'm about to cry myself.
I guess.
David Rudiman can breathe again. He's in the Daytona 500.
He can have some pizza now.
He can go out and run 60 laps now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You just never know. That's why these qualifying races are so much fun and so you can't predict what's going to happen. You just never know. James Hilton, just in a few laps of getting in.
We're going down to our Pennzoil Protecting the Win interview. Standing in victory lane, Matt Yoakum.
And Tony Stewart once again pulls into victory lane. Tuesday night, he took a closed-door tour of Daytona, USA. He looked at the Wall of Fame with all the past Daytona 500 winners and looked at the spot reserved for the 49th annual race. Smoke, going into Sunday, do you like where you stand now with this package?
Nah, I think we ought to totally rebuild this race car from the ground up. No, I feel real good about it. You know, there's no guarantees, obviously, and you know, we got a lot of good cars that were in our race there. So, you know, anybody that can go from a lap down and get to second, that's a pretty strong car too. But this Home Depot Monte Carlo SS, it was awesome. This Chevy has been bad to the bone all week. So it's been that way all year for us, no matter whether it was Chili Bowl or here. So just hopefully we got one more in us.
You looked at the Wall of Fame in Daytona, USA, and you saw the spot reserved for this year's winner, and you said, that's where I hope to have my picture.
Yeah, it's, you know, the qualifying races and all the shootouts are great, but and so are the July races, but I really want that. I really want this race on Sunday bad.
Tony Stewart takes home a duel here at Daytona. Steve?
Well, Matt, with Michael Waltrip, and Michael, to say it's been a tumultuous few days would be a gross understatement. You lost some key people. You've won this race before twice, but what does it mean today to you emotionally to get in the Daytona 500?
You know, it was just, I race cars, that's what I do, and I want to thank Mr. Helton and my wife for reminding me of that, because I was so upset yesterday. I wanted to go home, and they said, we got to stay and race. That's what you do. And I'm thankful, thank God. Just sad, but happy at the same time. Daytona does that to you.
Thank you, Michael. Dick?
With Mike Bliss, how big the disappointment?
It's real big. I know I've got people saying, you know, it's so complicated and this sucks. I wish we could just race our way in. I guess that's what we were doing, but for 2 spots. Man, we've been so bad since we've been here when we first unloaded testing, and we have a great race car to race, and now I'll be watching at home, and that just sucks. I'm just, I want to cry.
Mike?
That pretty much says it all. And you've got to feel for Mike Bliss, who raced his heart out and came up 1.5 foot short.
I don't think I've ever had emotions run wild the way they do when you're down here. And that's the way a competitor feels about this joint. You love it, you hate it, it hurts you, it helps you. It's one of those places.
18 cars have to go home today. Tony Stewart, the winner. In 1979, Buddy Baker won what was then the Busch Clash and the 125. In 1989, Ken Schrader won the shootout and the 125. But no one has ever won the shootout, the qualifying race, and the Daytona 500.
You see right there, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, all cars racing to get that final spot behind Michael Waltrip to be able to race in the Daytona 500.
James Harvey Hilton, 23rd after getting shuffled out of the draft. And his dream of making the Daytona 500 ends today.
Hey, guys, don't we have another one of these to run?
Yeah, one more.
Coming right up.
I tell you what, guys, David Gilliland, he just continues, I think, to gain confidence and build credibility with his competitors. Second in the Budweiser shootout behind Tony Stewart. Overcome a bad pit stop, running over the air hose in this race. Ends up finishing in the top 5, finishing 4th.
He's been flawless on the racetrack.
Oh, and he is the Bud pole sitter, too.
Oh, that's Buffy and David Rudiman. Sweet.
Well, David's happy because he's in the Daytona 500, but now he has to go race 150 miles to find his starting position. Stick around. We're only halfway done today in Daytona, live on Speed.
Yesterday, things looked grim for Michael Waltrip Racing. There is the congratulations for Michael's teammate and former champion Dale Jarrett. They are both in the show, as is the third member of the triumvirate there, David Rudiman, as a result of Mike Bliss not making it by 2 feet.
Yep.
Margin of success. We talked at the top of the show about who's in and who isn't, and that's the drama that we saw just there.
It is definitely the drama right now. I mean, right now my heart goes out to the guys who are having to go home. You think about Bill Elliott, former champion and a winner here. He will not be in the Daytona 500. You saw Mike Bliss's emotion. You saw how Ward Burton, just couldn't believe that this was happening to him. And again, it's just all of this kind of coming together today because it means so much.
Because Boris said raced his way into the show, that means one more driver gets in on his qualifying time. That driver is Rudiman, and he's standing by with Chris Devoto.
I cannot tell you the difference in demeanor of this guy from Sunday at qualifying till now. Normally you have to be in a car to win a race. I imagine you probably already feel like you've won in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I thought I was going to get sick during that last race. It was so stressful. But the deal is, I'm pretty sure we're in, and I didn't care what spot I had. I just wanted a spot. So now we'll go out there and try and learn something and make the car better for the 500, and knowing that we do have a spot in the 500.
Yeah, David's still joking. He would like kind of, some sort of certificate or NASCAR to present him with something, so he definitely knows he's in, but you're in, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Dick Berggren?
And James Hilton was almost in. How much fun did you have out there, fella?
I can't remember the last time I had that, but I don't think anybody deserves that much fun. Not even me.
Are you surprised that you ran that well?
Yeah, really. But, been away. The biggest thing, I hadn't run with these guys. Not so much about the track or the car, but just that when you're running against this whole breed of superstars, you're not familiar with them, and you don't want to do anything to get them out of shape. But they were all real good to me, every one of them, and I can't say enough about it.
Well, you had all the folks in the rocking chairs going a mile a minute cheered for you, my friend. Everybody in America was cheering for you, for sure.
Well, I hope I didn't let them down. I did the best we could, and we'll get them next time.
Attaboy. Steve?
With David Gilliland now. David, you had just a handful of Cup starts a year ago for Robert Yates Racing. A great run in the Budweiser Shootout. You're on the pole for the Daytona 500, and Larry Mack said it just a minute ago. You've got a great car, but he sees your confidence continuing to grow.
Yeah, that's our main focus. We got a great M&M's Ford Fusion. We've had it since we've unloaded here, and Todd Parrott and Robert Yates Racing Engines is a combination that's had a great deal of success here at Daytona. So we're real excited, and I'm just, it's my first time here, so I'm just wanting to learn. And after the race there, Dale Jr. and Jeff Burton came up and said, hey, great job. And this was the first race that we've had, someone on our back bumper the whole time. And so I feel like we've taken a big step in that direction. I just really need to thank Master Foods USA and everything they've done, with the support of their 40,000 associates behind both cars. I feel like we're making them proud right now with Snickers and M&M's on the front row.
I'd say good luck on Sunday, David. And Dave Despain, this should make Jeff Hammond happy. Dave Gilliland spent 2 years as a crew chief for his father.
How about this guy? Sits
real
on the
man
pole.
working the pitch.
Sits on the pole for the 500, runs second in the Bud Shootout, and now this performance today. Never seen Daytona until he came down here to test. And how about James Harvey Hilton?
Well, I'm just finally glad to see Dick Berggren interviewing somebody that's older than he is.
How about his James line? We'll get him next time.
That's
72,
it.
and he's not done. Let's recap the action. Here's Michael Waltrip trying to squeeze in behind Dale Jr. His former teammate turns him around. Junior rebounds from that to finish second.
Yeah, but later on right there, Robbie Gordon cuts down on A.J. Allmendinger, spins him around and up in the outside wall, ending both of those guys' day, and more importantly, ending A.J. Allmendinger's opportunity to get into the 500.
It's a pretty hard hit on Allmendinger when that car came back up the racetrack. This is David Reagan losing a tire, turning around, tried to save the car, stuck it in the wall hard, rookie mistake.
Yeah, but later on, we had Ward Burton because of a chain reaction. His number 4 car collects the outside wall, spins around. But how about the finish right here, Dave?
For a seat in the Daytona 500, the white hood on the number 49. He's got to get by. Boris said in the black car, misses by 2 feet. And David Rudiman, thanks to that 2 feet, is in the Daytona 500, the third member of the Michael Waltrip Racing team to accomplish that. A bit overlooked perhaps in all this, beyond the winter interview, which matters, is the incredible performance of that 20 car. I mean, if I got to put money down right now, I know where I'm betting.
He's been looking strong ever since he's been unloaded, but I think I want to go one step further. If you realize the start of the first duel, we had 2 Toyotas guaranteed being in the Daytona 500. At the end of that first duel, now we're up to 4 because of Michael being able to race his way in. He was able to move. The 00 was able to move up into qualifying position because of the 60 car Boris said. So it's got to be a big relief for Toyota knowing they've got 4 cars in the 500.
An incredible turnaround in terms of their image from where they were yesterday. Let's get the booth involved in this. Mike, Darrell, Larry, go back up topside.
Well, because this qualifying procedure is so convoluted, let's take a second and tell you the fellows we know are going home from race number 1, along with James Hilton, Brandon Witt, Stanton Barrett, Mike Bliss, Kenny Wallace. Bill Elliott will not make the 500, A.J. Allmendinger, and Ward Burton. There is one question mark, and that is Jeremy Mayfield. Should Sterling Marlin race his way in race 2, he would not need to fall back on his qualifying speed to make the race, and Jeremy Mayfield would get the 42nd starting spot. So Mayfield's going to be the biggest fan Sterling Marlin has over the next 150 miles.
Yeah, and you know, the second race, now everybody kind of knows what's going on. It's all, a lot of the pieces of the puzzle have all been put together. That can make this second race maybe a little more saner. Maybe guys will drive with a little bit more etiquette out on the racetrack. It won't make it any less emotional, but it might make it more sane.
And I know just watching that first race, and we still have another one to go, but spinning ahead towards the Daytona 500, I know on qualifying day on Sunday, it looked like the Fords and the Dodges awfully strong, but it was all said and done a while ago. 5 out of the top 6 finishers in this race, including Tony Stewart, the winner, Chevrolet. So it still looks like that the Chevrolets right now, they've got this stranglehold on this racetrack when it comes time to race.
What's going to be interesting about race 2, one thing is we have, 3 Roush cars in race 2, all 4 of Bobby Ginn's cars, both of the Penske cars, a lot of teamwork.
All 3 of the Evernham cars,
right.
and one of those will be, 2 of them will be coming from the rear of the field because Scott Riggs actually had to change an engine in his car.
Pretty optimistic when you talk about teamwork. Maybe they will, maybe they won't.
Race 2 of the duel at Daytona to finalize the Daytona 500 field is coming up next live here on Speed. Welcome back to Daytona. The drivers have been introduced for race number 2 of the Gatorade Duel at Daytona. As we get ready to go, here's who we know will be added to the Daytona 500 field in addition to the top qualifiers. Michael Waltrip raced his way in, so did Boris Said. Dale Jarrett will use the Champions Provisional. We know that Johnny Sauter has one of the 3 fastest speeds of drivers not yet into the field. Boris Said had another, but because he raced his way in, David Rudiman knows that he will start the Daytona 500 at least on speed. Now Rudiman can still race his way in to a better qualifying spot here in race 2. Tony Raines among those waiting their chance at the track. Matt Kenseth being introduced to the crowd. Jamie McMurray after his introduction. How about a little take me out to the ball game action? Last night at Jackie Robinson Ballpark here in Daytona, John Henry, who owns the Boston Red Sox, has now bought 50% of Jack Roush's team, which will now be Roush Fenway Racing. And some of the Sox turned out for a big night at the ballpark.
Well, I'm a race car fan, and just to be able to be a part of an organization affiliated with NASCAR, I look forward to maybe getting to some races this summer and rooting on the guys here on the team.
After the ceremonies, the Roush drivers got to take some big league cuts against Mike Timlin. So it'll be interesting to see what the Boston Red Sox approach to marketing Major League Baseball will mean for Roush Racing, already one of the best marketers in the NASCAR garage area.
Yeah, this is not a sponsorship deal. This is a partnership with John Henry and Jack Roush in racing.
You see some of the drivers who are about to compete here at Daytona. Let's take you down through the starting lineup, our Pennzoil starting grid. Ricky Rudd's already earned a front row spot for the Daytona 500. David Stremme, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jeff Gordon, the front four. Marlin and Rudeman, we know, will be in on time. But again, a lot of drivers trying to race their way into the field. 13 drivers hoping for just 2 transfer spots.
You know, a car I'm going to really be watching in this race, a guy that has had so much success here, starting on the outside of the second row, Jeff Gordon in the 24 car. He has not been very happy with his car all week long down here.
No, he hadn't. It handled poorly in the Bud shootout. Then he had ignition failure. I watched him in practice yesterday. Never really got the car up in the front of the draft like he's accustomed to doing. They worked on it a lot. I don't think they're very happy, but it's another day.
And his teammate, Jimmy Johnson, the defending champion of the Daytona 500, was just kind of okay in that last qualifying race.
Yeah, really didn't look that good. He wasn't up there fighting with Tony and Dale Jr. like he normally is.
Let's talk about the cars that will start in the back, particularly the 3 Evernham Dodges. Scott Riggs wheels one of those, and the other 2, 3 cars all involved, along with Matt Kenseth, in the inspection crackdown on pole qualifying day. Fines were issued for unapproved aerodynamic aids by NASCAR. Fines ranging from $25,000 to $50,000 and from 25 to 50 championship points for owners and drivers. And here being introduced to the crowd for his first Daytona stock car start, Juan Pablo Montoya. Winner was Salvador Duran and Scott Pruitt of the Rolex 24 Hours just a couple of weeks ago. Dave?
Jeff, are you not as impressed as I am with the way Montoya has approached this whole NASCAR thing? He's run one race last year down at Homestead, first time ever at Daytona, qualified very well. Of course, that's mostly about the car, but just his whole attitude and approach to the whole thing is so professional and so upfront, and I think he's making a lot of friends here.
He's making a lot of friends. He's impressing a lot of people. His talent, I think, was showcased last year when he took that Busch car, went out, started qualifying for races, and in the finally at Homestead in the final race, he was able to take that Nextel Cup car, go out there and qualify on his own. But he comes to Daytona. He seems like he is a veteran down here. He's kind of blended very well. He's doing a lot of great things to make people really kind of warm up to him.
One of the jokes that went around in the garage area when Montoya was hired last year, and the question was asked, well, can he win a race? And the cynics were saying, well, Chip Ganassi cars haven't won a race in 5 years. Why would Juan Pablo be able to pull them through? But look what they've done during the offseason. They tested well. They've got Stremme starting second and Montoya third for this race that we're about to see. So I think things are definitely looking up in that camp. Let's go down to the garage area and Dick Bergman. Dick?
Well, Matt Kenseth's car caught with a rules infraction in the inspection process. And right now, Matt, you are so far back. I think the front of this line is in another zip code. Pretty rough first 150 miler. How do you play your cards in this one?
It'll be all right. But first of all, you listen to all the interviews, and everybody always thanks the guys back at the shop. And I've been dying all day to thank Robbie and the guys back at the shop. So I got to say thanks to them first. But seriously, yeah, it's too bad that we're back here. But we started in the last and won Gatorade 150's last 3 years in a row, and we've been able to work our way through it. So hopefully we stay out of trouble and get to the front. We have a great car. I want to really thank DeWalt and, apologize to all our fans for the embarrassment of being back here. But we'll get through it. They really blew this out of proportion a lot bigger than what it really was. But I think we'll be okay. I think we got a great handling car. We got a great race team, and I think we're going to be pretty good on Sunday.
All right, keep the fenders on it. Matty?
Dick, starting alongside is Casey Kane, driver of the 9 car. Keith Rodden will be his team director for at least the next 4 weeks. What's the biggest thing you want to work on during this duel, knowing the situation you're in, Case?
Just try to, see how the car is, see how it's handling, and try to get in maybe behind Matt here at the start, try to work our way to the front, and just see how it's handling. We have to work on this thing for it to be good on Sunday, and there's some really good cars out here, so just see where it's at. And
communication as well?
Well, communication will be big, but, that's kind of what we're dealt with. So just learning each other, learning the new things. My spotter does a great job, so he'll help us out, and we'll go towards the front.
Just came by his teammate Elliott Sadler to wish him good luck during this duel here at Daytona. Dave?
Strikes me as a copycat deal. Last year, the crew chief gets thrown out. Darian Grubb steps up, takes over for the 48. They win the 500 and 2 of the first 5. Now everybody's doing it.
Oh, yeah, everybody's doing it. Now, Dave, you got to understand something. Evernham's situation, all 3 of his guys were kicked out, and all 3 of his cars are in this second race. So out of those 5 crew chiefs that were sent home, 4 of these teams that are in the second race are going to be working with their crew chiefs. Number 1, the 17 car, the 9, the 10, and the 19. But you have a lot of teammates here, and maybe those teammates will be able to help one another when it comes to working their way up toward the front.
It's not just those guys who have teammates. This is kind of a team-oriented race here.
It really is. It really is, because Penske's got both of their cars in here, and then Jack Roush has got 3 of his 5 are in there also. So I think it's kind of bizarre. And the biggest group of the whole race here, think about Ginn. Bobby Ginn's got all 4 of his cars, and 2 of those have got to work their way into this race.
Here are the official stats on the record-setting week of penalties down here for NASCAR, and the official stats on who was suspended. The big difference this year, the money doesn't matter. The fines don't matter. But when you start hitting them with driver and owner points, 50 for these guys, 25 for the lesser violations, and 100 for Michael and for his car owner. This is NASCAR getting very serious. The debate continues about whether this is the death penalty for a speeding ticket.
250 points taken away from these guys, and $250,000. That's pretty good eye-opening experience, you might think about.
Michael has avoided the possibility, well, not completely, I guess it could still happen, depending on his finish in the 500, but has avoided the possibility of becoming the first driver ever to start the season in the hole on points. Here are some of the stars of race number 2 as we get ready to crank them up and get back to the action here at Daytona, setting the field for the 49th 500. Pretty pictures from high in the sky, brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather. Who must race in race number 2? Well, it's an interesting lineup with a mixed bag in terms of talent. Kevin Harvick preparing to strap in. What a save he made in the Bud shootout the other night. Ruderman and Marlin have speed from qualifying sufficient to guarantee them a spot. The rest of these guys are racing in.
Yep, guys like Nemechek, Paul Menard, they've got to get up on the wheel and make it happen.
Vickers, of course, in another of the Toyotas, had a 10th place finish in the Bud shootout, but of course a bunch of cars in front of him wrecked. Still, the Red Bull guys were encouraged, I think, by that top 10. You got some rookies in there. It's an interesting mix of talent as always when you come to Daytona. 61 cars, a huge field, the biggest since, what was it, 95, I think.
Definitely a huge field right there. Getting a look at Kurt Busch. Had a strong car also in the Budweiser shootout. Unique gold paint job. He's back in his regular blue car. And we'll see what Jeff Gordon has to show for him also.
Hoping that they've sorted that car out and given him something with which he might be able to win another Daytona 500. We will take a commercial break at this point. Ryan Newman, fastest in practice yesterday, as we prepare for the second of the duels at Daytona. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Apparently there's some debate whether or not the boys in the booth should sing happy birthday to Jimmy Spencer during this telecast of the second duel. Happy birthday, Jimmy. He'll be on NASCAR's race day, the kickoff of the season. And remember, you will not be ready for the biggest race of the year until you've seen the biggest pre-race show. That will be our special edition of NASCAR Race Day, built by Home Depot with Mr. Excitement and Kenny and Wendy JR hosting. It's all coming up on Sunday. The field, drivers have strapped themselves in the cars. The cars are set, and we are just about ready to crank them up and head out for the second of 150-mile races that will finally set the field for the 49th Daytona 500. Time to go down trackside and get the command that will light them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back today's Grand Marshal for Race 2 of the Gatorade Duel, Senior Category Manager, Circle K Golf Region, Dave Skank, as he gives those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
And to call the action and tell us who will get those precious final couple of starting spots, Mike Joy, DW, and Larry Mack.
Thanks, Dave. 150 miles to race. 60 laps, 2 transfer positions at stake, 13 cars hopeful of one of those 2 spots. Remember, the top 35 in car owner points locked in to the Daytona 500 field. Ricky Rudd Sunday will make his 876th career start in a Nextel Cup race. Later this season, he'll eclipse Dave Marcus for number 2 on the all-time start list to Richard Petty.
And just to give an update on Ricky Rudd went 25 consecutive years and never missed a race. He took a year off. Robert Yates Racing, the M&M Mars people talked him into coming back and helped resurrect Robert Yates Racing. What I've seen so far, I think Ricky Rudd and David Gilliland are going to be great teammates with each other.
What enticed him to come back, I think, was that temptation when he went to a Dover relief drove for Tony Stewart, sat down in one of these cars that really handle well and run well, and he said, gee, I think I can still do this.
I just saw in the pit box right there, Butch Hilton is Ricky Rudd's crew chief, but you saw Todd Parrott, who is David Gilliland's crew chief, already up there on the pit box to help Butch Hilton. That's what will resurrect Robert Yates Racing, the two teams working together. There's Butch Hilton right there, just climbed up there. He'll take his seat to call the race.
Gets into the fighting seat. Now all he needs is a rod and a reel. Away we go. David Stremme will share the front row with Ricky Rudd as we get ready to go. Here's Dick Bergman.
Lots of interesting stuff in this race, Mike. Juan Pablo Montoya, Bogota, Colombia, making his first ever NASCAR start here at Daytona Speedway. He's won at Indianapolis. He's won here as well in Rolex racing. He's won in Monaco in Formula One racing. He has got to be really excited. We're excited that he is here to join NASCAR. The big guys are here, Steve Burns.
Hey, Dick, Joe Nemechek grew up in nearby Lakeland, Florida, racing motorcycles. Now, he has 25 Daytona starts. He's still with the same race team as the last few years, but you notice he's got a new car number. He's number 13. He drove the 01 for the past few years, but now Mark Martin occupies that seat. So Joe Nemechek will have to race his way in this dual race. Talk about the emotion. His wife, Andrea, just gave him a good luck kiss. She turned to walk away, looked at me and said, we have to get in. Matt?
Kevin Harvick will tell you that there's more to lose than to gain in this duel upcoming. Kevin Harvick's never won a restrictor plate race, but from the very first day of winter testing, he earmarked this race car as his Daytona 500 car. It's backed it up in practice. Two things to keep in mind. Besides the new colors, Harvick would love to score that first plate win. And although the colors have changed, his pit board sign still the same. When he hits pit road, the yellow and red will be over the wall, but right here, the typical smiley face will be there to greet him. Chris Devoda?
Well, Matt, someone else who's looking for his first Cup plate win is Kurt Busch. You know, he said this team has so much more confidence. He called last year a transitional year, his first year with the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge. He said Roy McCauley, his crew chief, has more confidence. Remember, they had a summer stretch where they finished in the top 10 in 8 of 10 races. Kurt says he's using that momentum, plus the good practice runs he's had here this week, to propel him into a whole new season. Dick Berggren.
You'll take a look up on Nextel Vision Screen. Locked in.
Thanks, Krista. There is Kurt Busch. Let's talk about who gets in and who goes home. There are 13 drivers in this race, just like the first race, not yet qualified for the Daytona 500. Any two of them can race their way into the top 2 spots among those not yet qualified and score a transfer spot and race on Sunday. As far as falling back on speed, right now, Sterling Marlin is in position to do that, and David Rudiman. However, should Marlin and Rudiman race their way into the transfer spots, the next fastest cars on speed, Jeremy Mayfield and then Mike Skinner, have the possibility of garnering one of the last 2 spots in the great race.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. It's going to be wild to watch. But let me ask you a question. Do you remember any famous number 13s?
Smokey Yunick's car was pretty famous.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Had a lot of success here.
In racing. Now in football, that's a different story.
Smokey ran the best damn garage in town, just about 4 miles east of here on the Halifax River. Getting set to go for Duel at Daytona, round 2, and this will complete the field for the 49th Daytona 500. Getting set for the second duel at Daytona. One thing that has changed, aside from the starting lineup from race 1, is the weather. The skies are threatening here in Daytona.
They are, but what I like, which I think will promote good racing, you can see we have very little wind here. We've been fighting wind a lot the last couple of days. The track's cooling down. It's gaining some grip. So I think this is all going to enhance some really good side-by-side racing.
Pretty much optimum conditions right now for good racing. Track conditions were good, weather good.
When these guys practiced yesterday, you saw that wind right there. We had gusts over 25 miles per hour. They had their hands full yesterday.
Yeah, well, they were using the wall a lot yesterday.
We've made an adjustment to our crawl here to help you keep track of the drivers trying to race their way in. Again, the drivers in black are in based on top 35 point positions from 2006. Drivers who are green, right now that's Sterling Marlin and David Rudiman, are in positions to transfer into the race. Now drivers in blue, like you see Marlin right now, and Rudiman, because they have speed, they will be in the race one way or another. They can fall back on their speed. And now the drivers who were yellow, so they're a little more legible for you folks at home, will show them as red, and it's red because it's condition red. Last chance, and you've got to get going to get in.
And I want to update our viewers from the first race, or maybe some viewers that are just joining us. It's a 60-lap race, 150 miles. These cars can only go about 48 to 50 laps on fuel, so we're knowing at least one pit stop. So that right there could be very, very critical. We saw a lot of mistakes in that first race. Jimmy Johnson, our current champion, overshot his pit box twice. David Gilliland ran over the air hose. Remember, these guys are just getting back in the swing of making pit stops for the new season. We need to also update cars that will be going to the rear. You mentioned some of them. Of course, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, their time's disallowed. They'll go to the rear of the field. Scott Riggs and Mike Skinner will go to the rear of the field because of engine change. We talked about Joe Nemechek. He will actually have to be back there as well because of a transmission change in the 13 car.
Now let's briefly explain the difference in the penalties. Kenseth and Kane were penalized 50 points, $50,000. because their infractions were discovered after qualifying last Sunday. While the other two Evernham cars, Elliott Sadler and Scott Riggs, had unapproved bolts holding the spoiler on that was found in pre-qualifying inspection. They were allowed to replace those bolts and qualify those cars. 25 points, $25,000, but their qualifying times stand because the problem was corrected before the cars went to qualify.
It was a holy mess.
But again, Scott Riggs, he will have to go to the rear of the field because of changing the engine. Actually, just this morning, this is a fresh engine in that 10 Valvoline car.
As Michael Waltrip proved in race 1, going to the back of the starting grid, not necessarily that big a disadvantage. Scott Riggs missed the 500 last year, rebounded to have a great season. But in all their press releases this spring, they've said we'll be in the Daytona 500. They have the points from last year to make the race.
Yeah, you know, historically, Mike, the first race is always kind of crazy. Wild, they do wrecks, all kind of things happen. In this race, it's a little calmer normally.
You know, I'll talk about the guy in the car on the outside of the front row, David Stremme, qualified third. This was a car that for the most part, most of the races last year, they had to go out and qualify on time because they were not in the top 35 in owner points. And you know what? That rookie last year, David Stremme and that race team, they did not miss a race. They come here a little different situation, but that Dodge, like the other two Ganassi Dodges, they've actually been fast throughout the entire winter.
Inside row 2, Montoya, Indy 500 win, 7 Formula One victories, and next to him, Jeff Gordon, one of the most successful of all Nextel Cup drivers in recent years.
DW, we only got one more shot to get in this thing, so the best advice I can give you, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Oh, yeah. Let's go racing, boys.
Montoya, the man in the middle, Marlin low, Busch up high.
Takes a lot of skill to hang onto a car in the middle like that. 3 wide coming through this tri-oval. You're running 190 mile an hour with only 18 degrees of banking. It's mighty slippery.
And bouncing all over the place.
She's a slippery slope coming through here.
Stremme the leader. Hendrick Chevy teammates Gordon and Kyle Busch in the 5 hooked together.
I think you'll see that Yates horsepower in that car down the inside. Whoa. Oh, that gets tight right there. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Got to back out of the throttle a little bit.
23 is Mike Skinner, the Red Bull car, Brian Vickers. Stremme a little loose. Gordon got right to his bumper. Here comes Rudd on the bottom.
Boy, I guess, I mean, that was really a place where you get that close to the guy in front of you. It really loosens that 40 car up. Stremme did a great job of holding his line.
Look at him 3 wide mid-pack as they jockey for the transfer spots. Right now it's Marlin and Mike Wallace in the 09 in the 2 spots to transfer into the 500.
Looks like the 2 Hendrick cars there, the 24 and the 5. Gordon and the Busch look like they're trying to kind of gang up on Stremme there in the 40.
And they've been hooked together like that ever since the drop of the green flag.
Stremme's teammate there, Juan Montoya, is right behind these 2 cars. Pretty good start for the Ganassi team here.
You know, we talked about Sterling Marlin, the 14 car. He's in on speed, can race his way in. Watching him yesterday, I mean, he could be a contender to win this race. Good race car for Sterling in that 14.
You see all those sparks flying. I believe they're from J.J. Yaley's car. Something dragging on the 18.
Full load of fuel, just a little down on air pressure. You'll see that for a lap or 2.
Burns.
Mike, after nearly 20 years with Roush Racing, Mark Martin is with a new team, Ginn Motorsports. Right before the green flag, he told crew chief Ryan Pemberton, there may be times that I don't agree with you, and we may disagree, but that's all right. No matter what, the call is yours. At the end of the day, it is up to you. So they're already working on their communication. Dick?
Kenseth has gone from the absolute back of the pack, last starting position, to 10th spot. He is rolling. He's done all that in just 3 laps.
There's no question, Dick. He has a great race car, Matt Kenseth, in that 17. There's Juan Pablo Montoya trying to get to his teammate, the 42 car, trying to get up there. He's in the 3rd position behind Jeff Gordon in the 24.
Think it'll take him very long, Larry, to adapt to these cars?
I would say he's all but there.
I think he's there already.
Ooh, Kurt Busch to the bottom.
Whoa, you can't do that.
And he was trying to pass Jamie McMurray.
Yep.
McMurray actually appeared to send him below the yellow line.
But he gave the position back, and remember that yellow line, it's all, you got to treat it like a wall. It's out of bounds. You cannot go below that line in advanced position, but if you give it back like Kurt Busch did, no harm, no foul.
Now it's McMurray's car showing sparks off the chassis.
It's kind of that time of day, Mike, when it's getting a little overcast. You can see those sparks maybe more than you can when the sun's shining.
Watch the purple car and the blue car of Kurt Busch.
Yep, you see Kurt, he slows down. He did not advance. Lost a couple of spots here. But if he had gone on by Jamie McMurray in the 26, he'd have been brought to pit road.
And be close to a lap down in a hurry.
And I'm sure Jamie McMurray's getting. Look at
that. How about a new leader here? Juan Pablo Montoya in that 42 car. He has went to the front with that thing.
What a drive.
And Stremme is backed up into the sucker hole, Darrell, right in the middle of the 2 lanes.
Yep.
Backing up to Mike Wallace there.
Well, one can help you when you're in the middle.
Didn't you say this would be the calmer race?
Well,
I don't think so.
You would expect it to be, but these are race car drivers. It's the helmet. I always blame it on the helmet.
Casey Kane up to 14th from the back of the pack. Let's show you how Montoya in 42 took the lead.
Got some help from Kyle Busch, and that 5 car just pushed him right on by Jeff Gordon and David Stremme to the front.
Now that was bump drafting to perfection. A couple little kisses sent him on his way. Little Valentine's present.
Dick?
And Montoya is hearing some very good advice. He is being told, realize this guy is a rookie at Daytona and restrictor plate racing. So he's getting advice about what the people behind him are liable to do. And a few moments ago, he was told, don't get too far out front. It's just hard to believe how well he is running in his first ever restrictor plate racing.
That would be a little bit confusing to a rookie. Don't get too far out front. I'm trying to run off and leave these guys, for Pete's sake.
Look at these guys. I mean, we're 7 laps into it. Look at them, 3 wide by 3 wide. Now, that one black car there in the middle, that's Mike Wallace in the 09. Right now, he is in the Daytona 500. Still a long way to go, though.
That man knows how to draft. I tell you, Mike Wallace has gotten himself in the 500 several times by racing his way in.
The man he's racing, though, is right behind him. 83, Brian Vickers, is trying to race his way in, but
Mike,
Wallace just drove off and left him.
Look at those cars wiggle around, though. You don't see that when we're looking at them head on or from the side, but when you get an overhead like that, my goodness, there's a lot of movement in those cars.
And Darrell, I know Mike Wallace in the 09 had a problem in qualifying, but he was not very fast in practice. Another Childress engine. It's like the engines didn't run qualifying, but all of them are good in race situations.
Well, you made the point, I think, that Richard told you, a little different engine combination. Maybe they're not good for qualifying, but they look like they're sure going to go in the race.
Riding with Tony Raines, Mark Martin just ahead.
See how that right rear corner sucks down? That's by design. Trying to get that spoiler to get down out of the air so that car will go faster.
Raines passing Joe Nemechek for about 20th place. Nemechek coming back on the inside. Back in that pack where they're 3 abreast.
You know, a lot of times you're in a situation like this, 3 wide and doing all this racing like you're doing. You'd like to get out of there, but you can't. You're boxed in.
Steve?
Mike Kyle Busch in the 5 car right behind Juan Pablo Montoya. Likes his race car, but he just told crew chief Alan Gustafson, I need help getting through the corners. I'm starting to bog down a little bit. Krista.
Well, it was the feel-good story before this race started, the fact that David Rudiman was in. Right now, nothing feeling good about his car. He said he's getting killed down the straightaway in this thing. David Rudiman has fallen back far. Matt?
DW touched on it earlier, the fact that you can learn from your teammate if he was in an earlier duel. That's exactly what Kevin Harvick's team has done. They learned that you can actually add more tape to the grill because the temperatures are a lot cooler. Jeff Burton said his car wasn't running up to the temperature they really needed, and Harvick's now paying the benefit of that. They added more tape.
Well, that's the benefit of having cars in 2 different races. Information passed from one to the other. Valuable.
You know, Darrell, we talked about Mike Wallace, how he really understands the draft. I want to talk about Mike Skinner in that 23 Toyota back there. Remember, started at the rear of the field, had a good qualifying run, but he's proven again you don't have to start up front to work your way to the front.
Yeah, Mike's really good on tracks like this because he never lifts.
He doesn't lift at a lot of tracks.
Never lifts.
But that's really good at a track like this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is. That's real good.
There's Skinner battling Vickers right behind Carl Edwards in the 99.
And Paul Menard back there, the DEI, the 15 car. That's a car that's trying to race his way in as he makes it 3 wide here through the tri-oval.
You get such a pull through the tri-oval right here, and you can really get a run on the outside if your car will stick going into 1. That's the question.
Transfer spot, 83 Vickers, trying it on the 09 of Mike Wallace, but not quite getting there. That's the last transfer spot.
You got to believe that. You got to believe Vickers' car, that 83 is, and you know, with Doug Rickard as a crew chief, that's got to be a potent combination eventually, if not today.
Here he goes again.
Got to run, got to look up. Got below the yellow line in the 26, I believe.
McMurray, yep. But he gave the position back. But I think he was actually forced down there.
What a great shot from the Goodyear blimp.
I love it. I love the overheads, man. It's when you can see how much movement these cars have got, how close together they get.
I'm afraid Mike Wallace in that 09, he's in the sucker hole, no help right in the middle. You see them just splitting in left and right.
Vickers has got him, and now Mike Skinner is trying to move up. So Brian Vickers, the Talladega winner last year, in position to qualify for the 500, along with Sterling Marlin.
And that's another Toyota, so you got 4 in.
And the reason we're making such a big deal of this is Toyota is the first foreign nameplate to race in Nextel Cup since 1963 at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Smokey Cook drove the number 32 MG and overheated, finished 17th. Nobody can find a picture of that car. If anybody can help us, give us a call at Speed TV or at Fox Sports. We'd love to find a picture of the last foreign car to race in NASCAR.
And there's one Toyota driver that's not in the field right now. I'm sure if you went on top of Sterling Marlin's pit box, you'd probably find him rooting Sterling Marlin on. That's Jeremy Mayfield, because if Sterling Marlin in the 14 races his way in, Jeremy Mayfield will be in on speed.
Marlin and Vickers in. Wallace, Menard, Skinner, and the rest on the outside and looking. Sky's getting a little darker here in Daytona, but we believe, based on the weather radar, we can get 150 miles in before those storm clouds make their way across Florida to Daytona Beach. Juan Pablo Montoya leads this race over Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, and pole sitter Ricky Rudd.
Now, you know, all of a sudden, what happened to our 2-3 wide racing and the tight packs that we had? What happens to these race cars? We're 16 laps into a run, 17. The handle starts to go away. All of a sudden, you got to start squeezing out of the throttle. If we listen to some of these engines, you'll hear some of the guys having to lift out of the throttle. When they do that, you lose your momentum, and off they go and leave you sitting.
And Darrell, we're riding with Casey Kane right now in the 9 car, one of the 3 Evernham cars. We have 2 Dodges up in the top 5, Montoya and Stremme. But right now, the 3 Evernham cars are running 22nd, 23rd, and 25th, almost at the back of the pack.
And these teams of Rays were so optimistic coming down. I mean, I don't think I ever saw Elliott Sadler more pumped up about coming to Daytona, and to run this poorly. That's got to be a big surprise to them.
Scott Riggs in the 10-74 is Derek Cope, the 1990 winner of the Daytona 500, and 34 running with them Kevin LePage, who the last 2 years here has raced in and earned one of those 2 transfer spots in a car that did not time trial all that well. So LePage hoping to three-peat and make it into the race on Sunday.
At the front of the pack, it looked like for several laps they were content to run single file, but just a few corners ago they kicked Sterling Marlin in the 14 car to the high side, and he lost several positions. You see him right back there. In fact, right now Matt Kenseth in the 17, Carl Edwards in the 99 to the low side underneath him.
It's just like driving to work on the interstate. You're in one lane, everything's moving along fine, you're really making good time. All of a sudden that lane slows down. The guy you passed way back up the road, he goes flying by in another lane, and you have to swap lanes to get going again.
Darrell, I don't think Sterling's car wants to run on the bottom, even when he's not had somebody inside him like Matt Kenseth is right now. He's been running pretty well up the racetrack. Kevin Harvick looking.
Yeah, it looks like Sterling's car's picked up that big push and starting to run up the hill.
And here comes Newman.
Hello, Newman.
Ryan Newman.
I just knew you were going to do that. Ryan Newman won practice yesterday as he helps Kevin Harvick into the corner.
That's what Harvick was saying. Hello, Newman.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Matt Kenseth's forward progress seems to have slowed a good bit. The car has freed up, and he is pretty much stuck in around 9th or 10th spot.
You know, can you imagine going nowhere at 185 miles an hour?
It's repetition, man. You just keep going around and around. Pretty soon you get it right.
But, you know, going back to Newman, I think that was another story that we were anxious to see this year. Of course, he has his new crew chief over there, but the Dodges in general, we talked about Montoya in a Dodge, Stremme in a Dodge. They had the nose change, the front end change over the winter, and it was done to help the balance of the car, the way the car drives. And right now, I've been pretty impressed with a lot of these Dodges down here, not so much qualifying, but in the races. Yeah,
obviously they got a much better balanced car, but what about Montoya? Here he is out here leading this race. What do you think he's thinking, a Formula One champion like he is?
I would say he might be thinking about that pit stop that'll be coming up.
Steve?
Hey, Mike, just listening to Ryan Newman, he said, I am so tight, I have to lift in turns 1 and 2. I need a significant change to the car. Matt.
Steve, 4th in line, the 88 car of Ricky Rudd. Now a similar situation that his teammate David Gilliland experienced in the first duel. Water temperature continuing to climb. It's now at 270 degrees. He's trying to poke his nose out a little bit to try to get some fresh air in to cool the water temperature down. Look for them to pull some tape off the grill on their pit stop. Krista?
Well, Matt, Steve just told us that Ryan Newman's car is reporting tight. His teammate Kurt Busch is on the opposite end of the spectrum, just a little bit loose, but his car is very, very good. He is hooked up right now with Brian Vickers, and he is Vickers' best friend because Busch is pushing him along. Kurt Busch said Vickers' car is strong. He will stay there for now.
I'll say Vickers' car looks really, really good, and it looks like he would like to make, yeah, he does. He'd like to make a move around Strimmy if he can. Lost a little momentum there, and here comes Busch on the outside.
Now let's go back and talk about Ricky Rudd in that 88 car. Again, these guys, the crew chiefs, they run as much tape as they can on the nose because it helps the car down the straightaway. He's running, as Matt said, 270 degrees. You can see every chance he gets, he puts it out from behind Jeff Gordon, trying to get a little more air to flow in there to where it cools the water in the radiator.
Lead change, Kyle Busch puts Tony the Tiger out in the wind.
Uh-oh, I see a little smoke
from Montoya.
Looked like a little smoke off of Montoya there. I'm not sure. It could be water. It could be a little spray from getting a little warm, but he's leading this race, and he's got quite a bit of opening there, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. But boy, they're ganging up on him.
Smoke out there. He's got. It's almost like it's either it looks like a right rear tire rub. I think it's a tire rub.
You think Kyle Busch, when he went by him, got too close and rubbed looked like they were pretty close when Kyle Busch passed him on the outside going into 3. Oh, he's definitely got a problem. You can see the smoke, and there's things slowing down.
Although it's in the middle.
But no smoke in the corner, in the
Still going okay there, bud?
Oh, no. He's in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely got a tire.
The right front tire went.
Caution.
The right front tire went down. That's what happened.
Caution is out, and the flag waves as David Rudeman leaves the pits after an unscheduled stop.
But what a break that caution is for Juan Pablo Montoya, because now he'll be able to come to pit road, but there's an awful lot of damage on the right side of that car. He got in it pretty good.
He got in it pretty good over there, and that's where lack of experience. That tire was going down for a couple of laps there. We saw the smoke, but he didn't realize it.
We see the first bit of smoke just as Kyle Busch is making the pass.
Kyle got awful close to him as they went into turn 3 over there, and you can see the car started smoking right after that. If we back that shot up a little bit, they may have had a little bit of contact.
And then as the tire goes down further.
And you know, they were asking him all along, are you okay, bud? Are you okay? Is everything all right? And he wasn't saying anything.
Keep in mind, these cars are more than twice as heavy as the Formula One or Indy cars he's used to racing, and have a completely different feel. So just something for Montoya to get used to. Dick Berggren.
Well, Montoya heard his spotter in his ear a lot, but he really never said anything at all, Mike, about the behavior of the car until that caution flag came out, at which time he told the crew that it was pushing, and he said that the push probably is what did it. He's got a flat right front, Matty.
Dick, a lot of conversation on the 29 radio of Kevin Harvick. Right now, just trying to tweak the balance. He's both tight and loose. He did say, I can't be any looser on entry. They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment on this 29 car. Krista.
Number 4 now behind the pace
yes,
car.
similar condition for Kurt Busch. Yeah, a little bit tight, a little bit loose. They need to tighten up the back, and Kurt Busch, though, has a very strong car. Steve?
The road is open. Here they come.
Well, Krista, listening to Kyle Busch, who has the lead in this race right now, he said that my car is just a little tight behind the 42. No adjustments for the 5.
David Rudeman is the only car that stays on the racetrack, Steve, as pit road is a busy place.
And I
25 laps in.
Yeah, 25 laps into this race, guys. I think the strategy will be pretty simple. 4 tires, fill it up with fuel, because we're almost halfway into this 60-lap race.
Pretty sanitary looking bunch of pit stops. All these guys are getting in their boxes pretty clean. I think that's a lesson learned from the first race.
Boy, Matt Kenseth, that 17 car, they had a quick pit stop. Kurt Busch in the 2 car.
Trying to push Kevin Harvick. Can't get started. Finally. Matt?
All he did, Mike, was come on the radio and said, it is broken.
Oh, I'd say he broke a gear.
Gear or dry shaft or something. Yeah, when they dropped the clutch, or when they dropped the jack, dropped the clutch, it didn't go.
You launch these cars out of the pit hard. You'll hear the guy sitting there with the engine turning 7,000 or 8,000. When they drop the clutch on them, that can happen.
We're actually getting a report from Matt Yoakum, possibly the transmission.
And one driver overshot his pit. I believe that was Brian Vickers, and had to back up. Dick?
This is Montoya's right front hub, Mike. If you've got it on camera,
wow.
He is in serious trouble here. The right front corner is gone. He's done.
Kevin Harvick getting pushed back to the garage. Montoya's car, the right front, torn off. Things happen fast here in Daytona.
Lucky for him, unlucky for him.
April 29th, free tickets.
Juan Pablo Montoya is out of this race, but he will be in the Daytona 500. Dick Berggren.
Juan, did you hit anybody out there? Did anyone hit you potentially to break that hub?
Oh, no. You know, I think we clipped somebody with the left rear. When we were running 3 wide, it was a little tight there. But, you know, the 2 laps before it started, my car suddenly started getting really tight, and it started bogging down out of the corner. So I think the bearing was just going on until it went. You know, it's one of those things.
Were you comfortable out there?
Yeah, I was really comfortable. You know, Kyle was handling really good, and I think, you know, everybody at Texaco Havoline and Chip Ganassi has done an amazing job for me. So I'm just really happy to be part of this.
This guy is going to be something, Mike.
Yes, he is, Dick. Let's talk about a little contact. Was there contact on the left rear of Montoya's car from Jeff Gordon?
Looked like it. That was when the thing started smoking, though. I believe it was slowing down then. That's what caused Gordon to get into him.
But that had nothing to do with the hub failure.
No, I don't think so. What I thought that when Kyle Busch slingshot around him right here, I thought maybe there was some slight contact because Kyle got really close when he was closing into 3. But now you'll start to see smoke just about here, and then Jeff gets in the back of him, and that right front's trying to lock up.
And our tape editors went back and checked. There was no contact between Kyle Busch and Montoya's 42.
It just makes me wonder, Darrell, was the tire starting to go down? He talked about the car starting to bog down and starting to pick up a push, which sometimes can be unusual if you're out front and leading because you've got all the downforce. It almost sounds like the tire may have just slowly but surely going down.
I believe, Larry, it's probably more like the bearings were burning up in the hub, and it was just like having the brakes on.
Now, David Rudiman was in the pits at the time of the caution. He did beat the pace car off pit road, so he did not lose a lap. We'll have to double check and see where Rudiman is scored. But one thing I saw during that run of green flag racing was the teamwork among the Bobby Ginn cars. Joe Nemechek and rookie Regan Smith were running nose to tail about 2 positions behind Sterling Marlin. Since Marlin is locked into the field on speed at least, it wouldn't surprise me if the next car in line at the end of the race, not in a qualified position, was either this one, Nemechek, or the 39 of Regan Smith, that Marlin might back out because he's in the 500 and let one of his teammates have the final transfer spot. Of course, that's a long way off. We're not quite to halfway.
Yeah, if all the planets line up, that might happen.
We're coming to the green. We're going to have about 32 laps to go in this 150-mile race. Right now, the 2 cars that would be in, racing their way in, would be Sterling Marlin in the 14, and as mentioned, his teammate Joe Nemechek in the 13. The 2 Toyotas of Mike Skinner, Brian Vickers right behind Joe Nemechek.
All right, we got us 4 freshmen on. We can go back to doing a little 3-wide racing here again.
32 laps to go. Kyle and Kurt Busch, the brothers from Las Vegas. Out in front of Matt Kenseth from the back toward the front. Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, and Sterling Marlin. Marlin and Nemechek right now are in the 2 transfer spots.
And I tell you, that 2 car last Saturday night, I know it's a different car, but same setup and all. That thing was strong in that Bud shootout the other night. He's got shuffled to the back, came back and finished 3rd. Here he is right now up here leading it, or fighting for the lead. That car's a good race car this year.
But how about Matt Kenseth in that 17 car? Remember, started this race at the rear of the field. His time disallowed after qualifying. Worked his way right up through there. Had a great pit stop up there running into the 3rd position.
Chevy, Dodge, Ford. Chevy, Ford at the front of the field. And back down to Dick Berggren and another of today's disappointments.
Yeah, with Kevin Harvick, what happened to that transmission?
I went to take off and it spun a pinion in half, so just something that usually doesn't happen, but just one of those freak things. I guess all the stars lined up right, but our Shell Pennzoil Chevrolet was driving really good, just didn't make it.
Well, Daytona 500 has been won from the back before. We wish you well on Sunday.
When he says the stars lined up, because better to have that happen today than have it happen Sunday when the points count and the purse is large.
You know, when you're running a car down here at Daytona with the restrictor plate and you're trying to cut down as much friction as possible, we shave those gears down a little bit.
Listen to what happens.
I mean, when you drop the clutch, when you rev her up to about 8 grand and drop the clutch, that can happen. Try that off the stoplight sometime.
I mean, obviously, in all the running gear, Darrell, with that restrictor plate, anything you can do to be aggressive with your transmission, your gear, your drive line, you're certainly going to push the envelope there. Normally, that stuff, Richard Childress races, is about as durable as it comes.
Yeah, you'll even run the little lighter fluids in this race. It's only 150 miles. You'll try a few things here, knowing you couldn't do that on Sunday.
Joe Nemechek right now is in the race. He is 10th overall. He is second among the must-race-in drivers, behind Sterling Marlin and ahead of Brian Vickers, Paul Menard, and Mike Skinner.
In that group of 11 cars, I know what Joe really hopes right now is I hope we please stay in line, because you're running in a single line. You will pull away from guys that get back there and get a little bit racy. And we know now if we stayed green, these guys, they've had the pit stop that they needed to make the distance on fuel.
Well, this is when you talk to the spotter, your spotter. Go tell the spotter of whomever it is. I guess in this case it'd be the 9 car back there with Brian Vickers. 23 slowing down.
Mike Skinner.
But the spotters are talking to each other. Stay in line. Let's catch back up.
40 pounds of oil pressure. It just won't run.
And we're hearing that he is down a cylinder, and I think one reason he gave him the oil pressure is they had a problem on Friday with oil. They had lowered the oil pressure too much and had an engine failure.
And that's another one of those things that you don't want to have too much oil pressure, because it slows these restrictor plate engines down. But you want to have enough so they don't blow up.
Kyle Busch, the younger brother of Kurt, they run 1-2 ahead of Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, Ricky Rudd, and Sterling Marlin.
We're back. Gatorade Duel 150's presented on speed by Pennzoil. David Ruderman has retired the Toyota 00 that has had a troubled event here. Dave Despain and Jeff Hammond in the Hollywood Hotel. The Busch brothers lead the race. Who or what impresses you thus far?
Well, so far, I mean, I'm kind of liking the 17 car. I think he's really showing a lot of strength right now. Without his crew chief, starting dead last in this race, working his way all the way back up there to third. Great stops by the pit crew. So it looks like Chip Bolin is doing a good job calling this race so far, and that crew's not letting him down so far. So I think really he's looking strong.
Impressive indeed. Juan Pablo Montoya, the start of the race with the 88, the second of the candy cars from Yates Racing up front. But look at Montoya with a push from the 5, going straight to the front.
Straight to the front for 18 laps, but then he started having some problems. The 5-car Kyle Busch goes to the outside, and right there you see a little bit of smoke. Next corner, he gets to the outside wall, breaks the right front hub. Engine day. On the pit stop from the resultant yellow, Kevin Harvick broke the gear. Montoya retires with the problem with the hub. A short but spectacular debut. And as now we get back to the action, we go back to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Dave. 12 cars, single file. And right now, Sterling Marlin and his teammate Joe Nemechek have the 2 transfer spots ahead of Menard, Vickers, and Mike Wallace. But still, quite a ways to go here. 37 down, 23 to go.
And for several laps, Joe Nemechek in the 13, he was hooked right to the rear bumper of his teammate Mark Martin for several laps, but it just looked like that Carl Edwards in the 99 just weeded his way in there. Now Joe's making a run to the outside with some push pretty much from the Ray Evernham Dodge right there.
Andrea Nemechek, Joe's wife, looking on. We must make this race, she said. And Joe's mom,
Martha,
and #1 fan.
Yes, sir. She's got to have one of the most incredible photo albums of anybody that's ever been in racing.
Jeff?
Mike, I had an opportunity to talk to Mark Martin early this morning, and he told me that his car was really good, especially when these guys got kind of strung out. He felt like he could go up there and pass at will. And he also said that Joe's car is very similar to his. The longer these cars run, the better they get. He really feels like that the 13 as well as the 39 of Regan Smith could all be a factor today, but it looks like Mark's starting to make a march toward the front in that Army car.
It's almost like Joe Nemechek, he can't turn his car down, and that's letting Paul Menard in the 15 car, the bright orange or yellow car there, keep looking to the inside. That's a battle for the transfer spot right there.
Can you believe that 9 car worked his way in that little hole going down through there? Goodness gracious, Casey Kane.
Another of the Toyotas to the garage, and that's Mike Skinner's car joining David Ruderman. Ruderman will be in the 500 based on his speed. Skinner it appears, will not. Casey Kane just pulling past here. Jamie McMurray coming back, giving his teammate Carl Edwards a bump. How about the 26, Matt?
Up on the outside, that's exactly where he wanted to go and experiment. He was stuck on the bottom for the first portion of this duel. He was hoping that the deck would reshuffle so people would go to the outside and make an outside lane. That's what's happened. Now he's just experimenting. He does say, though, that his car is really tight.
And Darryl, talk about squeezing in little holes. Casey Kane in the 9 just slid in a hole that was just big enough to fit in right in front of McMurray in the 26.
Yeah, that's the second time he's done that, going down the back. He's got a great spotter. That's all I can say.
Well, Darryl, you called it. Race 1 set a record for the number of cautions over the 150-mile distance with 7. Race 2, still with 20 laps to go. Only 1 caution flag for 4 laps.
The cards have pretty well been dealt, you know, when you get to this point in this race. Everybody knows pretty much who's in, who's out, and it's starting to really show. These guys are just being patient with each other.
Look at the run cousin Carl there. Carl Edwards in the 99 had it sucked right up to the back bumper of Matt Kenseth.
That's what it looks. That's what it looks like when you can hold your car wide open off the corner and the other guy can't.
And in the meanwhile, though, Jeff Gordon in the 24 car, he moved to the high side, was getting a little bit of help from Ricky Rudd in the 88 car. The gap is open there, but now look at them. They're 2 by 2 by 2.
I think Rudd's handling must be going away a little bit. He's been sitting there pretty comfortably down on the inside right behind Jeff Gordon. People are starting to move he and Jeff both up off the bottom and making passes on him, or at least trying to.
You know, it's been about 14 laps since we restarted this race. I'll be anxious. We've been talking about Casey Kane in the 9. Remember, he fell so far back on that last run. Looks like they definitely made some adjustments to make that car better.
New man in the transfer spot, Paul Menard. Right now, he and Sterling Marlin would be in the race, and Joe Nemechek outside looking in. Nemechek 1 spot away. Whoa, something checked up there in the field, all accordion together. Casey Kane and Carl Edwards brushed together. That's what sent everybody scattering.
Yeah, I don't think the 9 was able to squeeze in that hole that time.
But what that did, that let Paul Menard in the 15, you see him on the inside there, he actually was able to get by Sterling Marlin. So right now, Paul Menard is the top running guy that has to race his way in.
Menard and Marlin, 15 and 14.
Watch the 99 here. We're going to have to show you a replay here of the 99 when he gets caught in the middle. That's he in the middle right there with the 9 underneath of him. Ricky Rudd on the outside. Watch Carl. He gets loose in, walks the thing up the racetrack, has to get out of the throttle. Really a nice save.
Darryl, we've seen that a lot here this week. With that car on the outside, it's like it pulls your car around to it.
Well, what they're trying to do is make the cars turn off the corner. In order to do that, it makes it way too free getting into the corner. And if you get somebody right behind you, it can really it can upset the car, just like you saw there.
Look at this transfer battle. Menard in 15. Nemechek down to the bottom, edges ahead of Marlin, and Joe Nemechek moves into the 2nd transfer spot. But for how long? 16 laps to go. Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch from Las Vegas continue to lead it. Kenseth, Newman, and Jeff Gordon. "12 laps to go in Speed's coverage of the duels at Daytona, presented by Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil with adaptive molecules. Also brought to you by Toyota, moving forward. And by Radio Shack. Sirius Satellite Radio now has NASCAR, and you can buy Sirius at Radio Shack. 12 laps to go. The Busch brothers have not changed station, 1st and 2nd. Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Casey Kane, Jeff Gordon all lined up. But in our running order, drivers in black are locked into the 500 based on last year's car owner points. Drivers in green, Sterling Marlin and Paul Menard, are in the 2 transfer spots right now. Drivers in blue, we know they'll be in the race based on their speed, and the drivers whose names are red have got to go, and they've only got 11 laps to get there.
Yeah, I think that 5 car, though, we saw it here in the Bud Shootout last week. We know that thing is fast, and unless his brother decides to put a Tony Stewart on him, I think he's going to be okay here.
But guys, let's set up that transfer spot. And I know we've got 11 laps to go.
Oh,
we got trouble. Brian Vickers.
Boy,
The 83 car.
Something broke, and that car just slewed to the right and into the wall.
And the caution will wave as they'll come to 10 to go this time.
That had the mark of a tire. It had the look of a tire as it swerved a little bit. It almost.
And unfortunately, this has the look that both of the Red Bull Racing cars will not make the Daytona 500.
And that car was running great.
Steve, any indication?
Well, Mike, we heard Brian Vickers say right before he hit the wall, he told his team, guys, it's getting really, really loose. And then just that quickly, he hit the wall.
Yeah, you can see the right. I'd say it lost a right rear tire.
And there's just no controlling it. Remember, the speeds are running here well over 180 miles per hour, 31 degrees of banking. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot he could do right there.
See the right rear down, so he cut a right rear tire.
Do you stop or do you stay out?
I'm just sitting here thinking, Mike, it's been 25 laps since we pitted. I think we're going to see some cars stay out because, Darrell, I think for the most part, this track has gained so much grip from cooling down. We're only actually going to probably have about 7 or 8 laps of racing. I'm just not sure I want to put myself back in the pack.
The leader's he's a sitting duck. Right. Whatever he does, everybody's going to do the opposite. Unlikely, it may be sometime when the leader goes in, you go with him here. Leader goes in, you stay out.
And this will be a little bit of a lengthy caution because they're going to have to put Vickers' car on the rollback.
Now, to me, what's going to be interesting is what are our way guys in? What are they going to do back there? Sterling Marlin, Paul Menard, the 2 cars that are in right now. Sterling Marlin's teammate, Joe Nemechek, just right behind them.
I'm coming in and get me some tires if I got to try to beat somebody.
You sure have changed your
Well,
tune.
you know why? Let me tell you why. I learned my lesson Saturday night. I got 2. Kurt Busch got, Kyle Busch got 2. And I think it cost him a race.
Yeah, he just couldn't maneuver his car.
Tony Stewart got 4, stuck that nose underneath of him and run him all over the racetrack.
Help me up here, Jeff Hammond, with your driver.
Let me settle this. 4 tires. Come get you 4 tires and go up there and qualify for the Daytona 500. It's just that simple. 4 tires.
There are still 25 cars on the lead lap.
But just remember, this isn't Saturday. This is Thursday.
Well, I think some of those drivers way at the back, Darrell, may not stop and hope to grit it out.
24 in, Jeff Gordon.
I think the guys that are coming in are just what I said. The leaders are setting duck. These guys in the front, they can't come in, give up track position.
Paul Menard stayed out of those trying to race their way into the field. So did
Sterling Marlin stayed out.
And Frank Kimmel and Kirk Shelmerdine and Eric McClure. They did not stop. Dick?
Well, Chip Bolin and Matt Kenseth went round and round, Mike, about whether the Kenseth car should come in and pit or not. Matt sort of wanted to do it because he was concerned that they might lose the handle on the car, might not handle well enough to finish up front. But Bolin suggested that if they pitted and some of those slower cars, some of those transfer cars didn't, then they might wind up behind them. And if there's a mess, they'd be in it. So they didn't want to have that happen.
Here's another thing.
Yeah, trying to decide what to do down here for the number 2 following his brother Kyle Busch. The spotters were talking basically the number 2 team was going to do whatever the number 5 did. They waited it out. They weren't sure what to do. Kurt says his car is really, really good. They were hoping that more would stay out. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon, the 24, they took right sides only.
So the first 8 cars stayed out. And some of the drivers further back that are trying to transfer in.
Here's the other thing I learned from Saturday night. These tires are a little conservative, a little on the hard side. Once they're hot, you cycle them one time, they got a little less grip than they had before. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
Coming through.
We're 9 laps away from finding out who will make it into the Daytona 500. Tony Stewart won the first 150-mile duel at Daytona. Clean sweep of Speed Week so far for Smoke. In this race, Jeff Gordon has won 3 previous duels, Sterling Marlin 2 and Derek Cope 1. On this restart, the first 12 drivers did not pit. They'll have 7 laps to go. Marlin and Menard, along with Kimmel and McClure, stayed out of those trying to make the race. Nemechek, Regan Smith, Mike Wallace, and on back. Those drivers pitted. Green flag, 7 to go.
What I like about the tires they have here, though, you got options. You can decide, you can do different things. You're not boxed into getting 4 every time a caution flies. Come on, baby. Get going, get going.
Kyle and Kurt Busch have been running like identical twins this whole race long.
For a number of laps, and Matt Kenseth in the 17 right in their tire track.
Boy, Matt was trying to make a move on the Kurt there as they come off turn 2, and looks like he's shaking things up now.
Matt Kenseth in between the 2 Penske cars. Kurt Busch, of course, drove for Roush Racing, was a teammate to Matt Kenseth for a number of years. And there you see the other Roush car, the 99, Carl Edwards coming. Kyle Busch going to go from 1st to about 6th.
Did Kyle just not get up to speed, or did they gang up on him?
No, they ganged up. They ganged up on him. I saw the 17 get a run, and I thought they were going to shake Kurt out of the draft there, and they did. But I tell you, the car's not handling very good. That 99, boy, he's got his hands full, but he's not letting up.
Marlin and Menard, 14 and 15 in the transfer spots, a long way back to Frank Kimmel and Joe Nemechek. Steve.
Well, Mike, DW was talking about options with these tires. It's now or never for Joe Nemechek. On that last pit stop, they came to pit road and took just right sides.
And Steve, I'm just a little concerned. Is he going to have enough time to work his way back up there? Right now, sitting back in the 14th spot.
If Nemechek can get past Frank Kimmel, Sterling Marlin could ease back to get Joe in the race, but that may be a lot to ask here with just 5 laps to go.
And you see Scott Riggs in the 10 car, remember, started at the rear of the field. He was the only Evernham car that elected to stay out on that last caution. The other 2, Koenig and Sadler, came to pit road for service.
We've not mentioned Kimmel, but there he goes around the outside of Paul Menard. Kimmel in that number 71, the ARCA champion. And he's going to race his way into the 500 where he sits right now if he can stay in front of Menard.
Watch that mirror, bud. Watch that mirror.
But look out now, because here comes Joe Nemechek with those 4 fresh tires in that 13 car right there behind the green car of Yale.
Yeah, well, all Joe needs is an opening. He just doesn't need to get boxed. He doesn't need to lose momentum. If he can keep coming, doesn't have to lift, he's got a shot. And when you got tires, you can go anywhere you want to. That's the beauty about having tires and being back in traffic.
It's not that it helps the speed of your car, it just helps the way you can drive it and the way you can maneuver it.
Andrea Nemechek cheering her husband on. And Menard goes way down to the bottom. Nemechek trying to make his 13th Daytona 500 start in car number 13. There are the 3 men for 2 spots. 3 of them side by side, only 2 to make it.
And they'll be coming to 3 laps to go this time.
Slicing and dicing, boys, slicing and dicing, going down the back.
One inside, 15 inside.
Nemechek where he needs to be, and Paul Menard in that 15 trying to get back there. Here comes Mike Wallace in the 09, another driver trying to fight his way into the race.
And he's fighting, because he and Frank Kimmel in the 71 almost got together, but Mike Wallace fighting his way. 3 to go this time.
And all he's got to do is catch that blue car on the outside.
And the yellow one on the inside.
Well, they're kind of running side. If he catches one, he's got them both.
They're side by side, but only one is going to make it.
Look at this.
3 wide, 58 laps into this race. They're still going after it. It doesn't matter if you're locked in or not.
Well, really, you got no choice. You get caught up in this here, and you got to keep on. You got to stay after it, or you get run over. There's Ricky Rudd back in there. And
oh, contact.
McMurray and Regan Smith.
Regan Smith trying to race his way into the 500 as a rookie.
Yeah, and there's Gordon. He's come from way back. He got tires.
Nemechek is ahead of the 15 of Menard.
No,
whoa,
no,
Riggs.
baby. Hang on, baby.
He did. He saved it.
Straightened him out.
Woo.
But look at the run Mike Wallace in the 09 got going around Paul Menard in the 15 car now.
But that's for also ran position, Larry. He has to get to the 13 of Nemechek to get in the race.
Boy, that was a great save.
Tire rub on the 10. Here's why.
But watch this. The 96 car goes up here and helps him. Doesn't hurt him. This car is out of control sideways. Watch him. He gives him a little kiss, straightens him out.
What a save.
It took about 2 or 3 cars to accomplish it, but he kept it straight.
That's right.
Coming around for 1 lap to go. Who will be in the Daytona 500 as Kurt Busch leads them around? Right now, Sterling Marlin and Joe Nemechek, while these two cars, Mike Wallace
Back out of there. Now we'll get us in.
and Paul Menard, hope something happens in front of them.
And just to remind you,
Michael, white flag. That's Nemechek.
right now, Jeremy Mayfield is jumping up and down, pulling for Sterling Marlin, because if Sterling Marlin races his way in, Jeremy Mayfield will be in the Daytona 500.
But they just told him if he backs out, they get in. I don't know if he's hurt him or not. I don't know what he's going to do.
Nowhere to hide. Not in that pack.
And Jeff Gordon has come from way, way back to make a run here right on the end. He's going to go the outside, and here he comes.
But I'm going to tell you what, watch Mike Wallace right there in the 09 car. There's the race right there to get in between the 13, the 14, and the 09.
Marlin has backed out. So that means it's Nemechek and Wallace. Here they come to the flag. Jeff Gordon's going to win his third duel at Daytona. Nemechek's in, and it may be Mike Wallace.
I believe Mike Wallace. Mike Wallace did beat Sterling Marlin back to the line. So Joe Nemechek, as it stands, unofficial, Joe Nemechek, Mike Wallace,
Mike, we made it.
and Sterling Marlin will be in. Jeremy Mayfield will not make the Daytona 500.
My.
Nor will Paul Menard, Kevin LePage, Derek Cope, Regan Smith, Frank Kimmel, Eric McClure go home, along with Brian Vickers, Mike Skimmer.
I've seen Mike Wallace do this time and time again.
Now here it is. You see Marlin in 14 trying to back out of the way because he's in based on speed.
They touch right there, and then Mike gets a run down the hill. See him turn down just a little bit, and he gets an opening where he can really draft up on the 13 car, which pulled him by the 14.
3/100ths of a second. Go back to race number 1. The difference was 1/100th of a second. Who got in and who did not get in.
And oh, by the way, Jeff Gordon won the race, his third duel at Daytona. His first came in his rookie season, 1993, and he won his second one last year. Here's how he did it.
Oh, yeah, he gets a great run down the back. He gets a bump here from Stremme, and that just sends him by. Matt Kenseth on the outside. That leaves the 2 set and duck. Stremme gives him another little shot. Woo. Tried to block him, but he couldn't.
But Darrell, he was able to maneuver the race car with the fresh tires. And let's go back to Joe Nemechek in the 13 car. His crew chief, Peter Suspenzo, gave him 2 right side tires. Great call.
Did Busch and Gordon touch?
No.
Oh, we're going to have a look for that.
They just kissed.
Just a little.
Kiss me, baby.
The telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Mike Wallace climbs out to celebrate with his family, tearfully there in the 500. And today, front row Joe Nemechek is happy to be last row Joe, because he will race here on Sunday as well. Wow, what a day.
Hugs and kisses for everybody.
All I can say is the duels lived up to everything we thought they would be, and then some.
Chris Devoda is in victory lane with another celebrant.
That's right, very familiar territory for Jeff Gordon. More Daytona wins than any other active driver, so no surprise to see him back here in victory lane for this dual race number 2 as he climbs out of his number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. And Jeff, I guess you could say pit strategy played in your favor. Talk about the decision to come in for those 2 tires.
A lot of things played in our favor there at the end. You know, I just didn't think we had the car to be able to do it today. We got shuffled back a couple of times there and really got a big push. But between taking those 2 tires, which is a great call by Steve Letarte, and getting a lot of help between J.J. Yaley and David Stremme. I mean, those are only 2 of a few guys that really gave us some big pushes there at the end. But you know, I got to the outside every time the 18 got behind me. I'd take advantage of that push and go to the outside, and it worked out in our favor. I got to thank DuPont and Pepsi, GMAC, Nicorette, all the folks, GP with Sparkle, and this is just an awesome feeling. There's nothing greater than being in Daytona and being in victory lane. It's awesome.
I heard you say that you love to win. Do you have the kind of car that's going to be back here in victory lane like you were in 2005 on Sunday?
Well, we just showed anything's possible. So I didn't think we had the car to be able to get here today, but we got here, and so we got a little bit of work to do. I think there's some guys out there a little bit stronger than us, but you know, you got to get out front. The clean air is out front. The tires definitely grip only for a few laps, and then you know, then you got to just ride and find some clean air out there. And if you don't have a drafting partner, it's a lot of work out there. But I tell you what, these guys, it just feels awesome. I'm so excited to be back in victory lane. It's great.
Big smile, but they did say they've got one more to win on Sunday. Dave Despain?
If you can win with a car with which you are not very happy on Thursday, it certainly bodes well for Sunday and the 49th running of the Daytona 500. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup. Jeff, it's an interesting
yeah, you got
mix
the rookie up there with a veteran, but look back there on row 2. I think there's your heavyweight contenders. Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon winning their respective duels today. You got to have to watch these guys.
Dale Jr. inside row 3 after the events of today, still in good shape. We take you further back into the field. Matt Kenseth, after all of the crew chief issues for him. And
but how about Michael Waltrip? Yeah, your buddy right there. Great job.
I told you.
I know. I yield. He did a great job right there today, racing his way in. And Joe Nemechek back here on row 10. How about him? He raced his way in also.
Jimmy Johnson having kind of a lackluster week thus far. You're defending 500 and series champion. Mike Wallace with an heroic effort.
All the emotion right there of what Mike and his family were going through. You could see it when he got out of the car. He was so happy, hugging and kissing on his wife.
Further back in the field, Elliott Sadler and Scott Riggs, the teammates, starting nose to tail. David Reagan in as a rookie on last year's points. Juan Pablo Montoya will make
did he rock everybody's world today? Led 18 laps of his duel. I mean, he's impressive.
And as we look ahead to the activity still to come at Daytona International Speedway in this dramatic 49th gathering of the stock car world, the Craftsman Truck Race is live on Speed, 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow night. Sunday race day at 11 in the morning on Speed. And the Daytona 500, of course, is on Fox. The broadcast starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll give you the last word here, Jeff Hammond, as we prepare to say goodbye from the Hollywood Hotel.
Exciting. It's just going to get bigger and better as we go through the rest of the weekend right there, guys.
It's been a terrific day. Our congratulations to the race winners, Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon, and also to those who raced their way in such dramatic fashion here on what we anticipated and what proved to be a dramatic duel at Daytona. We will go to John Roberts in victory lane. Thank you all so much for being part of this, our first duels broadcast.